Welcome to our Rolemaster actual play session. Ain't No Place for a Hero is a campaign set in the world of Duranarki, the continent of men. A gritty, cutthroat world where politics, sorcery, religion, and commerce are all intertwined and reign supreme. Treachery and murder both come cheap, and characters need to be both smart and ruthless to survive. We hope you enjoy our story, and, as always, may the dice roll in your favor.
This is episode 140 of Ain't No Place for a Hero. The party have decided to turn their attention back to Tarek Nev and the secrets it may hold. We pick up the story in the middle of Etienne and Tarquin having a challenging conversation as the party is sheltering in a ruined cottage only a short distance away from the haunted walls of Tarek Nev. Hello, I'm Chris, otherwise known as GM Chance, and it is our great pleasure to welcome you to our story today. The story that we're telling today is Ain't No Place for a Hero. This is a campaign that's been running for quite some time, in fact since July 2020, and we use the Rolemaster system as the game system in our game, an old crunchy system from the 1980s. We really hope that you'll enjoy the tale that we're going to spin for you today. The name of the campaign is Ain't No Place for a Hero. These are the heroes that are in play in our session today. There are a lot of them. It's a big party. There are 8 characters up on screen, 8 faces that you will get to know a little bit better over the course of this game. And there are normally 5 players. One of our team can't make it today. So doing the maths there, you would have picked up that a number of the players play more than one character. In 1 or 2 ticks, we are going to go to a pre-recording. We play online, as you may have guessed by now if you don't already know, but once a year we get together to play in person. And we did that in October last year being 2024, I should say. When we did that, we did an interesting, fun little exercise, which was each one of the players of one of the faces up on the screen quizzed their fellow party members how much they knew about that particular character, and we recorded those. So in 2 seconds, we're going to go to one of those recordings, and we'll see who knows what about which character. Before we do so, the regular sincere thank you for all the support, the kind words, the new subscribers. So thank you. Our numbers continue to grow, and just the general interest in our game. This is clearly our hobby. We'd be doing this anyway, but the fact that we're able to record, share this online, and that people are enjoying what they're seeing, and they're enjoying our antics, and they're enjoying our stories, is an added bonus. So really appreciate all the comments and the kind words and the suggestions and the ideas that come through. Please keep them coming. All right, no further ado. As mentioned before, let's cut to one of those pre-recordings. I'm not sure exactly which one it is because I haven't done the edit yet. Hope you enjoy it as much as we did when we recorded. We're off now.
Hello, welcome back. We are now on to lovely Demos. So we're going to question the team and myself how well we know Demos. Okay, so question 1. Can Demos ride a horse? A, yes. B, no, he is afraid of all hood creatures. It's actually, yes, he can ride a horse.
Oh!
He loves horses.
You caught me out with the whole he's afraid of all those animals. Damn it.
So, Pete, well done.
Pete,
Yeah, well played. Well played, Pete. He hasn't used it, I don't think, for quite a while, but he can. B. What? Sorry, not B. I just said
2.
something else. What is Demos' sister called?
I'm going to put B as my B is the answer.
It's A. Faya. B. Fiona. C. Phaedra. Or D. Janet.
Have him again.
A. Faya. B. Fiona. C. Phaedra. Or D. Janet.
C.
Hydra.
Yes, it's C. Sorry. It was originally B, but I switched it around.
3 C.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I missed that one.
Question number 3. Does Demos have throwing daggers? A. Yes, he's an excellent shot. B. No, he's all about spears. B. No, he's all about spears.
Oh, who's got this?
Everybody.
Except me.
Yeah.
Oh.
For the moment, he's getting onto his desk.
Yeah, he's definitely getting into it now. Question 4 now, I think.
I got that one.
What inanimate object did Demos form an attachment to after Kyros's death? A. A fishing pole. B. A golden spade. C. An emerald staff. Or D. An oar. A. A fishing pole. B. A golden spade. C. An emerald staff. Or D. An oar. Yes.
An
Everybody
oar?
wins.
Yes.
Everybody wins and
Everybody
everyone
wins.
gets prizes.
All right, question number 5, last of the day. What prize position did Demos almost lose in the upside down? A. His favourite spear, named Brittany. B. His mind. C. His book of somber poetry. Or D. His beautiful long legs.
Beautiful what?
Long legs. Legs. Yes, everybody wins.
Everyone?
Not Britney Spears. That's it for day 1.
Well done.
See you for day 2.
There we go. Hope you enjoyed those recordings. As mentioned, we had a lot of fun doing them. So we spend quite a bit of time in this campaign fleshing out the characters. We think that the more that we understand the faces up on the screen, these fictional characters, their motivations, their likes, their dislikes, it makes the game a richer game and a richer experience. So as well as the quiz which you've just watched, we also spend some time each game with some what we term character development questions. So just simply some questions that tease out a little bit about each character, their likes, their dislikes, their backgrounds, etc. And tonight, we're kicking it off with Aiden. Aiden, take it away, please.
Hi there. I'm playing 2 characters tonight. So first question will be for Gray, the Beastmaster. And I'm going to go with, what is the most touching act of kindness your character has witnessed?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would actually just be some simple interactions he's witnessed with Kairos and her cat.
Mm.
He's an animal lover, and I think seeing the way that she looks after her cat and protects it and loves it, I think that's probably what made him take a shine to Kairos so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that would have touched him. And then for Demos, how does your character feel about forgiveness? I think he would be very open to forgiveness. He's just a big softy, that guy. And yeah, I think as a soldier, I think he was, he had to face some pretty awful things, and I think that's the only way he's been able to get through things. And his very tough life that he's had, I think, is by being forgiving and open. And yeah, he tries to see the best of people, I think.
Nice one. Excellent. Thank you. Who would you like to hear from next?
Ooh, I'd love to hear from Tarquin.
Hey, thank you very much. So the question Tarquin's going to have a punt at tonight is, how does your character feel about forgiveness? So Tarquin is young, very young, 26. And the reality is he's never really experienced forgiveness, not because he doesn't have things that need some forgiveness, just he's never had that experience. His experience is when things go bad, he gets punished. Forgiveness is not something he is really akin to. So I think if he, and is possibly in the process of experiencing someone trying to forgive him for things that they don't even know he's done, he's finding that very complex and a bit mystifying and doesn't really know what to do about it. So that's kind of where Tarquin is up to.
Nice one.
Unlike his controller, who is rapidly losing his forgiveness for his useless computer, for which I apologise. And I'm going to pass it on to Pete. It'd be great to hear from you.
Thank you very much. I certainly understand about computer. Yeah. Cool. So for Leif, I'd like to answer sort of two questions, but sort of quickly. Who does your character turn to in times of need? Oh, his friends, the party, the rest of the party. He does this, when he needs to do a sort of internal processing. He has to get himself in the right state, but then he will absolutely turn to his friends and the rest of the party. Especially Kiros. I think he and Kiros are quite close in a sort of a sibling way. And just what's the most touching act of kindness your character has witnessed? For Leif, it was the sort of a moment that united the remaining members of the group. Was when Victory joined the party, and that was Kiros, and she just she was very clear that the bullying of this poor little cat up the tree could not, I suppose it was that sort of matter of principles, but also kindness, and just that strength to say, to draw a line and say that's not okay. Was
She did cause some guy's head to explode in that particular fight. This was one of the ones.
So.
Yes, this was one of the ones that we were playing, of course, before we started recording. But yes.
Indeed. And for Mythan, how does your character feel about forgiveness? Well, it's a bit of a foreign concept for her, really, because she hasn't had relationships that were meaningful enough to her to require forgiving of anyone, particularly up until this point. So, and in her experience, no one bothered to try and, seek her forgiveness or well, not reasonably seek forgiveness from her. Sorry, seek for her to give to ask for forgiveness. More recently, as she's developed the connections, the genuine connections to people in this party, her requirements or her feelings on forgiveness are it's a sort of a matter of fact. If you've been hurt by someone or someone has hurt you, you simply address it and sort of carefully, sensitively, and ask. It's a matter of understanding, and as soon as you have understanding, things should be able to heal. And she saw that, and she agrees with what Leif did with the whole when the party was like the other people were possessed to turn against him. His process, of course, was to discuss it with them and understand where they came from. So she thinks similarly that once you understand where people have come from and their decisions that have hurt you, or perhaps once you've had an opportunity to explain the actions you took to someone, then forgiveness can be achieved and it is a clean thing after that.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you.
But it's new for her too. She's sort of because she hasn't had anyway. Who haven't we heard from?
But we're going to go to Alex in 1 second, but before we do, just to quickly note, as mentioned earlier on, one of our team, Graham, is not able to join us today, and Pete, you were very kindly picking up Etienne, who was one of Graham's characters. So I think for a first in our game, you are playing 1, 2, 3 characters. So thank you for shouldering the burden for another character. Much appreciated.
thing. And I've just realised I thought, well, I don't tend to prefer to answer these questions for other characters. Thanks, Miss. But actually, who does your character turn to in times of need? For Etienne, it's clearly Aphrodite. That's an easy one.
His goddess, yes. Cool.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you. Over to Keros.
Thanks, Pete. Yes, I play Keros, Storm Mage, and her cat Victory. I feel like Mythan needs to run like a therapy session for her and Grey, because that was beautiful around common understanding, recognizing hurt, moving forward. I wonder if that was pointed in a certain direction. So thank you for that. Great questions. It's another session where I just want to answer all of them. I am going to go with who does your character turn to in times of need? And automatically that has always been Leif. There's been many situations in the campaign where Keros has been in trouble or been hurt or feeling not quite herself. And as a player, that wasn't a thought out process in the sense of, oh, who will she ask? It just felt automatic that if Keros was real, this is who she would turn to. So that's quite lovely. That's almost like our little people have organically built that relationship and with no interference from me, which I really love. So and I imagine as she explores her relationship with Grey, she's definitely leaning on him. I mean, the whole party. I mean, she's very naive. She's very trusting. She's been hurt. She's not very strategic. Yes, I think it's, the whole party has been really supportive of Keros and Keros's owner. So thank you.
Excellent.
I'm going to have a crack. I'm going to play Neathnal.
And again, my thanks for picking up a second character as well.
Oh, don't thank me just yet, but probably the character I know the least about personally, but I will have a go. And kind of, there's two questions I feel kind of linked, which is how does your character feel about forgiveness, and also who does your character turn to in time of need? If I could link them, I think Neathnal relies heavily on herself and would be it would have to be a pretty hardcore situation for her to be vulnerable and say, I can't do this or I need help. I feel like she just goes off on her own and works through what she needs to work through privately. And I feel that's the same with sort of emotions and forgiveness. She might have those feelings, but we don't see them. And I think she'd probably be fairly black and white about forgiveness, fairly no grey areas. And I don't know how open she'd be to be asking for forgiveness. I'm not sure if I've got that right, but I don't know how like her pride and her goals and like whether she would apologize for something. I don't know.
Excellent.
But that's just my thoughts. Yeah.
Cool. Well, much appreciated, and again, big props to both you and Pete for picking up characters that aren't your own on this session. Okay, so look, we usually go to Pete to give us a quick précis of what happened last time, but on this occasion, I'm going to pick up that mantle. So your characters are traveling through the jungles of Arranmore. You are on this haunted island on your way to the dead city of the M.E.R.P, a people, quite an obscure people. Some would perhaps say insignificant people, whose home was taken over some 200 or so years ago by, call it, forces of darkness. Their capital city, Tarek Nev, was destroyed, and for a whole variety of reasons, you're on your way there. You reach the city gates. You encountered a horrific red face in place of the city gates. You decided late in the day to head down the road a little bit to kind of collect your thoughts, to do some attuning of some of the magical items that you discovered, and you came to this location here.
You spent several hours going over the various magical items that you had acquired in this tomb that you had that your characters had been in a day or so back, when your attuning was rudely interrupted by this hideous thing here. It looks like that, but it's half rotten. Its skin was falling off, and it was clearly not alive. A pretty brutal and very short, I think it only lasted a round, maybe 10 seconds, maybe 20 seconds, perhaps 30 at the most, took place, and this creature was dispatched. But not before, unfortunately, it's lashed out with its claw and smashed poor Grey about the face, and Grey's nose has been horribly broken, and in fact his appearance has dropped by 15 as a result. And Grey, as mentioned before we started recording, you're still seeing stars, so you're at a negative 30, which is quite a lot in this game, because your head is just reeling with the concussion, probably. After that happens, there was some discussion, and this is the little decaying building that you're in. This one here is this one here on the map. You can see it there. There was some discussion initially at the end of last session. There was some discussion between both Mithan and then Tarquin outside, and that conversation turned a bit odd, a little bit uncomfortable, and at the tail end of the session, Etienne and Demos came out, and Etienne, who has known Tarquin for some time before the party, was trying to essentially calm Tarquin down, or certainly deal with Tarquin, who seemed to be quite agitated about something. Mithan and Demos ended up going inside. Etienne and Tarquin went a short distance away, only a matter of 20 or so feet away, to continue the conversation. And that's where the previous session ended. We're going to pick up, and then a couple of days ago in real life, myself, Graham, who plays Etienne, and Giles, who plays Tarquin, caught up, and we recorded how the rest of this conversation with these two characters went. And we're going to cut in a second, unless anybody has any qualifying questions before we start. We're going to cut by the magic of editing to what happened during that conversation, and then we're going to start the game proper, and we're going to go straight into it. Before I do that, are there any questions from anybody? Is anything not clear? Is there anything that people want to know?
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Yep, cool. All right, going once, going twice. Let's start the game. So exactly that. By the power of editing, we are going to cut right in a second to what happened with that previous conversation, and then we're straight back into it. And we're going to cut now. Okay, so both Etienne here and Tarquin here have headed outside, as mentioned. The remainder of the party are inside this ruined hut. There is a small fire here. The body of this large creature that you slew is there. You guys are 22 feet or thereabouts away from the little cottage. What happens?
Well, just to summarise, I think Tarquin was sort of prone, I think, kind of curled up in a ball or something and wobbling. And I think Etienne was sort of crouched alongside him, sort of getting down to his eye level and sort of, being very consoling and encouraging, and was kind of urging him to open up and tell him what's going on, because problem shared and all that. And but also, that it must be very lonely holding this, whatever it is, to yourself, and actually getting someone to talk about it and getting him to talk it through and reason, and just to express how he's feeling and the problems that he feels, or the problem, the pitch that he feels he's in may feel like there's no way out, but sometimes just by vocalizing it, we may be able to find a way through it. And obviously there are ways and means magically we could look at too, and all sorts of options. But if we don't, if you don't try, we won't do it. And I guess Etienne's first question would be, you do want this to stop, right? You do want to be rid of whatever it is that's weighing you down.
Okay. And I'm going to make a couple of rolls to let you know how I'm going to answer. Okay. And Tarquin says, you can't be rid of your past. What I have is with me. I feel sick. I think I'm sick.
Well, sickness can be cured, and you can be rid of your past. I'm walking, living proof of being rid of my past. I am a completely different person to the person I was. I have been completely turned over and reborn. I've been through this process, so I know something of what you're talking about. So there are no. It's not all dead ends. There is possibility. There are ways out of this, but share it with me. And exercise your past. What's been done is been done. It's where we go now. It's the future. We're on a, we're together, locked in this quest, this calling, which is beyond all of us. So our possibilities of redemption seem boundless. We're literally at the calling of the gods. You may not have faith in that regard yourself, but clearly that you've heard the stories. You've seen the responses to the visions that we're having every day. I don't know if you think it's mumbo jumbo, but I assure you this is very real, and we are very much being urged on by the gods and being held back by others. This is the biggest calling you will ever have in your life. So this is the moment. If you want redemption, this is the journey you're on.
I mean, you are changed. You are not the Etienne I met.
No, but not even the same person. I have a different name.
But who did you follow before?
I was dragged up. I was a street urchin.
You followed no god?
No, I was an orphan. I was a common thief in the company of people who were abusing me and leading me down ways that I can't even conceive or want to speak of. Really, I have exercised my past. I was rescued by a man called Siente Gilderflower. He took me on a path. I let my goddess enter my life, and she has given me unspeakable riches, and I follow her path. To me, it's not a difficult path. I don't have to think twice now. The world for me is bountiful and full of endless possibilities and colourful people that I meet every single day. This path is open to you if you wish to take it. Well, not necessarily my path, but other paths. But you have to confront first what you are and where you've been and what you've done, and say, I want to change.
So, Chris, I'm just going to presume that both the charm roll and the spell remain active, unless you tell me.
Yes. Well, the spell description was it keeps going until Etienne stops speaking. He hasn't stopped speaking yet. The charm is your call. You know Etienne, so you kind of know a bit about him and how he works. Your call of your decision.
Okay. And Tarquin would say to him, oh, hang on, I've got to roll one more, sorry. And Tarquin would say to him, you're a lucky man. You're a lucky man, but for those of us brought up in other ways, escape is not so easy. Disclosure from being a ragamuffin? Disclosure from real difficulty? What would your god do if you renounced her now?
Well, I mean, It depends for to what order. I don't wish to renounce my goddess. She stands for all that is good in the world, so I have no reason to do so. You are troubled by whichever direction or place you're in, or whatever oath or whatever you've made. You don't like that place you're in, so break from it. And that breaking from it just starts today. And I can urge and help you along your way. But first of all, tell me what it is. I've seen and been through a lot. I've seen just about everything in this world, I think, in terms of twisted depravity. Nothing shocks me.
Nothing?
No. Nothing. If you wish to draw a line under it, draw a line under it. Let's be done with it. Start today.
Spell still works. Okay. Yeah. I guess Tarquin's going to ask him, what do you do when we find our mortal enemy? What are you going to do to him?
The mortal enemy? Well, I will stop what he's doing, because what he's doing is trying to pull down everything in this world, all the order and all the life and the forces of good, the goddesses, the churches, the people, the cities, everything in this world. They're trying to destroy for this crazy utopian dream they have of equality, without institutions, without gods, without goddesses, without color.
Will you destroy him?
Oh, I'm charged to do so without mercy.
Giles,
This is why I'm here.
something in the chat.
Hey?
Something.
Me?
No.
So my goddess has sent me here to stop what is happening and dispatch all enemies as required. All those who enslave, all those that oppress, all those to seek to destroy.
Can you just explain what's just happened to Tarquin, by the way?
Yep. Okay, Tarquin would lean up, look green, say, I feel sick. And then I think he'd turn to Etienne and say, I think you're a liar. I think you're a hypocrite.
Well, I don't know why you'd say so, Tarquin, because I will swear now on my goddess.
You're happy to kill for your goddess. You're happy to bring destruction for your goddess, but the destruction of others is unacceptable. How can that not be hypocrisy?
Because as a brawl, I err against violence for violence sake, right? I always seek peace in the first instance. I won't race to combat. However, in the face of intransigent opposition, I take to arms, as I am duty bound to do, and in the face of the undead particularly, or any creature of the demonic realms, or any foe who champions destruction, oppression, and slavery, I am dedicated to crush and irrevocably destroy. There's no compromise there. I'm here to celebrate, cherish love in all its forms, whether through the passion of craft, of creativity, and family bonds, embrace of carnal pleasures, the love of a good bottle of wine, whatever it is. That's what I'm here to do. There is no problem there. There's nothing for me to hide. I've certainly not trying to pull the wool over your eyes. I speak truly.
I think you speak truly. I think you fool yourself. I think your god is sick, and I think Tarquin would throw up. I need help.
So take it. It's right here. Just tell me what it is.
Well, I feel sick.
Well,
I feel sick.
But what is making you sick?
I'm sick to my stomach. I've eaten something I shouldn't have. It's making me crook. It's an old habit, a bad habit.
What do you eat?
Now I'm sick.
What have you eaten?
I belonged to a cult. I should probably roll here, actually. Oh no, so he's not going to say that. So I think what he'd say is, I've done my best to consume the strength of others to my significant detriment.
Thank you
I think I'm physically ill.
Okay, well, I mean, Etienne's not stupid, so he probably would draw some connection between those statements. I think I see what you're saying, but where would such a habit have sprung from?
I can't tell you that.
Why? What possible? Are you afraid of being struck down by some unseen force? Why the reticence?
You're a sensible man. And at this point, I think Tarquin would go quiet and probably place his hands on both of his daggers. And he's feeling pretty sick. He would make no secret of this. Etienne would see him do it.
All right, Etienne will sigh a little and say, "Well, take your time, find your strength, and will go quiet himself." Chris, I'd like to silently.
You put it in chat if you like.
All right.
But up to you.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just put that in his game chat.
Okay.
Yeah, I've just popped something in the chat too, Chris.
Cool. Okay. Duly noted. Say his daggers that Tarquin uses a short sword, but I guess he's got daggers too, has he?
I think he's got two. He's got two daggers.
Okay. Okay. He's your character. You tell me.
So he's got two daggers, and I'm pretty sure he hasn't lost them.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Yep, look away.
Cool.
That's with you now, Chris.
Okay. All right. Okay, cool. You both have sent me some information. Tell me the time frame on the information for Etienne.
He's gonna, just give the guy, a bit of a breather because he's obviously, he's in a lot of stress.
Okay. How long do you leave him? 5 minutes? Do you leave him 2 minutes?
Probably about, I don't know,
Okay, got it. Got it. Yep, got it. Okay, cool. All right. I would like. This is utterly fascinating, is it, GM? Right. Now we're going to go into rounds. And I am going to ask the machine to roll initiative for you both, based on, but it's based on how do I phrase this? I've got both your characters. I'll check up both your characters and do it that way. That's a better idea. 1 second. Just coming. Okay. This will just take one tick. Chaps. Cool. Then for boop, boop, Boop. All right. I can either get the computer to roll for you, or if you guys want to head into your respective chats, you can roll a 2d20 for me. What would you prefer, the computer, or do you guys both want to roll?
Oh, let the computer. It's fine.
Okay, done.
Sweet.
Done. Let's see. And encounter. No. That's better. Okay. All right, and all right, computer is rolling. 1, 2, 3. You're going through between the two of you. Tarquin, first to act.
So I sent you something saying what I was going to do. Chris,
Yes.
Whereabouts is that done?
No. So no, I've got no wrong. Your yeah. Wait, wrong one, Giles.
Okay, look.
I know. Just one sec. Yeah, no, I've got it. Can you make a roll in your channel, please?
47.
Oh, I was going to say keep it secret, but okay. Oh. Too late now. Okay. Right. So, what happens, or what needs to happen?
So
you can either type, or you can tell me. Whatever's easiest.
Okay, just look at.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Okay. In which case he'll cast.
That was it. The number you rolled was it.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Okay. Can I go back to the map, please, Chris?
Yeah, sure. You betcha. The map is here.
Okay. Yeah, actually zoom out. Zoom out. Now, if you draw a line, Chris, from my character past the edge of the house, other edge. We haven't been that way, but we have been over this way. How far away is that?
No, you haven't been. You haven't been this way.
We went around the side of the house over here, didn't we? We haven't been much further, but we have been around the side of the house.
You came from the road here, the VR passage. You and Mithan stood there.
Yep. And how far away is there from where we are now?
37.8 feet.
And we came from this passage with the steps I can see here.
You came from this roadway. That was where you're walking down, and you saw this little hut that you're in. I can give you an image of it. And there's a small pathway that goes to the hut.
Okay. What time of day is it again? Remind me.
Late evening, going for dusk.
Okay, so where Tarquin was standing with Mithane, he's going to appear a little further, a little further, a little further, a little further. Yeah, about there. And as soon as he appears, he's going to sneak between the tree and the house to take himself out of the line of sight of Etienne.
Okay. Etienne, this has just happened.
Well,
You're obviously unaware. Well, we'll give a perception roll for Etienne to see if he can spot you. But that was a 75% action for you, Tarquin. I do always ask when somebody makes this kind of roll to make a 10% orientation check. Basically, are they aware where they are? They've just moved from there to there. So give me a roll, please. It's based on your perception.
go back into the main game channel.
Sure. Yep.
Can't quite remember how this works, but there we go. 94.
94 plus your perception of something lots. So you've just 1 second in Tarquin's head. You were here. You are now here. You take a second to kind of orientate yourself, shake your head around. Oh shit, where am I? What's going on? And you have 15% of your round left to act.
Okay, so he's going to move around the edge of the tree as far as he can in that 15%.
A stalk. A stalk.
Yeah, stalk and hide.
Yep.
Yeah, he'll do it.
Give me a stalk, please.
I'm just going to look and find my skill. There we go.
This is an unmasked roll.
So 31. Should have gotten the other way around. And his stalk and hide is 62.
62. Okay. Not amazing, but not awful. You're also going only a very, very short distance because you only have 15%, so you get to about what there? Is that where you're wanting to go?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
You might have made some noise. You think? Etienne. Yes, and that is your round. That's your round.
Yep. A check. I'm pretty confident that Etienne has never seen Tarquin do this.
No. The fight with the
He has. He jumped into the tree. He jumped into the tree on Jewel Island. He has seen Etienne do it.
And
Moss.
And the
Yep, you were up twice. Yeah,
and
no.
the children of the moss. Yep.
You'll know what's going on.
So Etienne, you have now waited that length of time. Suddenly Tarquin, who was just in front of you, has just disappeared. He just simply was there, and then he's no longer there. Now, how to do this? I think I'd ask for a perception roll. Fair to say you're probably looking at it, Tarquin. Would that be fair enough?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you haven't seen him the next second move where he is. It's unlikely you would have looked up to see where he's gone in that split second. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I don't know. Could you give me a less of a perception roll? You can actually do a proper perception roll if you wish in a second, but this is just more of intrinsic observation. So give me a roll, please.
12.
12, okay. Plus his perception of...
Oh, it's very weak.
Yeah.
27.
27, sure. So I'm going to say with that, Etienne, you... should we split into different channels? I don't know. Too late now. Maybe I should have. Maybe I shouldn't have. Etienne, you are unaware of where Tarquin has gone, and you haven't heard sight or sound of him for the remainder of that time. What do you do?
Well, I think he's obviously not unaware of Tarquin's abilities, and actually Nathanor has similar ability that he's witnessed several times. So he doesn't think that Tarquin can make himself invisible. Hasn't seen him do that before, but he has seen him disappear and reappear.
Yep.
So he will shout out and saying, Tarquin, there's no need to run. no point in escalating this. We're only talking. Talk now. But this is a crucial time for us all. This party. Rejoin the party. Let's do what we need to do and get this mission done. There's no cause for argument here. There's no falling out. Just a concern for you. That is it.
Cool. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's probably a good place to end it, unless Tarquin wants to do anything next round. Because with that shout from Etienne, loud enough for the group to hear, that would be kind of the trigger for the rest of the party to then engage, and that's I think where we'd leave it. Does that sound reasonable to you both? Cool.
For sure.
All right. Okay, there we go. So based on exactly what happened last time, we are going to go into rounds, and we're going to I'm going to remove Tarquin, so Tarquin is elsewhere. Put Tarquin over here for the moment. All of the characters inside this little hut hear Etienne yelling words to the effect of, Pete, you've seen the recording, or Giles, can you remember exactly what Etienne said? Or words to the effect of, Tarquin, come back, or something to that effect?
Yeah, something along the lines of, that it doesn't need to be like this. You're okay, you're safe, that kind of thing.
That kind of vibe. Cool. And, of course, we've just actually played the recording, so whoever's just watched this will hear exactly what those words were, but that's essentially the tone of it. So we are going to go into rounds. I'm not going to put the combat music on just yet, but maybe I might. We are going to go into rounds, and new encounter off. Rolling initiative. First off, Neathanel, you're first to act. So you hear a raised voice from Etienne. The words are very, very clear. Words to that effect. What, if any, actions are Neathanel doing? Is Neathanel doing, please?
I'm just reviewing my essay from Graham. I've got some game notes. I hope I follow to the T.
Graham is thorough.
She would be keen to know where Tarquin is.
Okay.
So where is she? Sorry, GM.
I mean, I randomly just put characters inside this kind of ramshackle building here. I put her there, but I mean, you can tell me really where she would have gone. These two characters, Etienne and Tarquin, were clearly wanting some privacy. So actually, right about now, Giles, I'm going to be mean, and I'm going to ask you to jump into the other chat room, please. Thank you.
Vanished.
Is he in the other chat room? Not yet. He is now. So really up to you.
She would have heard.
She heard
Etienne
that.
say,
Yes.
yeah. So she would like to move stealthily,
Okay.
non-dyingly, out to Etienne, please.
Okay. Give me a.
Just. Oh, yep.
Tell me what you want to do, and then we'll roll any dice.
Oh, she just wants to check in and she'll just inquire, like, hey, what's going on? You all right? Where is he? She's keen to know where Tarquin is.
Cool. So she's stalking, is that right, or just moving normally?
I think normally.
Okay. So she walks out. She sees Etienne, and we can engage kind of any dialogue between those two characters on Etienne's turn in a second. Etienne's there. You can see him. Next up is Leif.
Leif would be similar. So he would check with what everyone else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
So he would move. How far is it to Etienne?
Oh, it's nothing. 20 foot.
Yeah. No. So he's not leaving anyone in the lurch. He's not. But he would go out to support Etienne and respond accordingly.
Where does he stand? Where does he go?
Yeah. Yeah. He'd be on his way out there. Yep. That's fine.
Next up is Great.
I think Gray's probably I'm still a bit dazed. I don't know if he's really can take it all in. Plus, I don't know if maybe they're shouting quite quickly. His language skills still aren't incredible, so I think he's just gonna stay close to wherever Gyros is and the cat, and just kind of like, I don't know, sway.
Watching the little Tweety birds go around his head.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. Next up is indeed Etienne. So you can interact with any characters here. So if you can have a conversation effectively.
Yeah, cool. So he would have looked. I think he had a look around.
He did. He did.
Yeah. So he didn't spot Tarquin.
He's got no idea where Tarquin is. Yeah.
No idea where Tarquin is. So he'd communicate that. He'd say, he would he would prefer to hold until everyone, he'd just sort of before saying what he's got to say. I suppose he'd prefer to catch everyone.
All right.
I guess. I mean, he's not going to, wait. But if it's all happening in the same round, it makes more sense for him if more people coming out of the building.
Okay. It's pausing there. All right, great. Cool.
It's sort of a pause, but I assume it's sort of all happening just about.
Yeah,
right?
reasonably so. Yep, cool. Yeah. Great. Could you now? In the past, we have typically gone from main voice channel where we all are now, and then I've left, but it's actually a bad way to do it because it means I've got to screw around with the sound again. Better, can everybody please jump into chat room 1 and ask Tarquin to come back and join me in main game voice? I know that's a bit of a faff, but it's probably better that way. Thanks.
Cool.
Hello, Keros. You gonna?
Yeah, I'm trying to find my channel. Sorry.
It's all right.
Where is it? Oh, chat room on. Okay, bye.
Thanks. Hello, Tarquin. Okay, Tarquin. You at the very last thing that happened for you, if you can see the screen, I'm assuming you can. You jumped here via a spell. You caught your breath for a second to kind of make sure you knew what was going on, and you're here. What do you do?
I put an arrow on this. My bow is strung. I put an arrow on my bow, and essentially what I want to do is perceive to see who, if anyone, I see who might be coming around the corner of the building with the rest of my round.
Okay. So I didn't actually get my little. There we go. How much is it to string an arrow for a short bow?
I think it's 60, Chris.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So, yeah, 30 or 40% perception.
Yeah, so great. So give me a roll, please.
Yeah, correct. 13.
13. It's masked. It's masked.
Oh, yay, 13.
Yep. Now, it's a 30% normally, but you get an extra plus 10 because you spend 40% of your time looking. And then what's your perception, please?
98.
98. Cool. So you hear movement inside the house, and it sounds like some people at least, this cottage, some people at least are going outside.
There are no windows in the wall that Tarquin's standing next to, are there?
No. If you look, there's only 2 very narrow ones at the front.
Yep.
There are bits of the back, by the way, have crumbled away. If you went further around the back, you might be able to see in through various holes in the back wall.
He's essentially going to have his, bow with an arrow on it, but obviously not holding it ready. That would be too difficult. And he's going to wait, expecting someone to appear
Okay, great. Okay, again, please, can we do the juggle of people in teams, if you can jump out, and ask others to come back in. Thank you.
Howdy.
Cool. Hi, guys. You're back in. You can see the map.
Yes.
Yes. So Tarquin is not here. I am just simply, you can see his counter. He is not there. I'm just simply keeping his counter there for safekeeping. So he's not there. Next up is Mithan.
Mithan would make her way out to the group outside, but she wouldn't go necessarily all the way. She's happy to sort of she'd go to within hearing distance, basically.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Demos.
He's also pretty confused. I think he'd probably go stand with Mithan and just kind of, I don't know, give her a little eye and be like, "What is happening?"
Okay. Okay. And last is Keros.
Keros is feeling a bit bad for Grey, but also doesn't want to be left inside on her own. So she's going to grab Grey by the arm, if he's willing, and drag him. Come on, love, and drag him out to the group. So they're all together. Okay.
Etienne, you can continue any discussion, and I'm happy for some short conversation between the party. It's minimal movement. No one's done anything significant, so a short conversation between one and all is fine.
Cool. Thank you. Because he was hoping to sort of say it once so everyone can hear. So he would say, and Graham puts it much more eloquently, but he would just communicate. My discussion with Tarquin didn't. Was more of the same. He has got something going on with him. He's really having real difficulty articulating it. He's feeling trapped, and he's still actually in physical pain when pressed. I pushed him too far, basically, and he fled. He used magic to flee. I don't know where he's gone. I hope he hasn't gone far. I think he needs time to calm down. But perhaps we will call out some reassurance to him, and we go on maybe we check the area, see if we can locate him. Otherwise, we could just continue with our activities, but we need to send a message. And then on that, I suppose Etienne would call out. I don't know if he would apologize. No, he would call out to Tarquin and acknowledge. Again, he'd reiterate what he says. There's no need for you to be away from us. Take your time. Take the time you need to, but when you rejoin us in on equal terms and in peace. No judgment.
Okay.
As yourself.
Okay.
And to take care would be his message.
Okay.
And he'd look to a response from other people.
Others can respond briefly. I mean, nothing massive, but a couple of quick words or a couple of comments.
Ray would grunt.
Others?
Leif would say, let's assume he hasn't gone far, and would perhaps want to do a cursory search.
Okay. Okay, great. Others?
Oh, sorry. Go.
Oh, sorry. Actually, response to that, Gray would suggest potentially Wingy could have a search with her bird eyes. Although, sorry, what time of day was it? Was it night time?
Dusk, late evening.
Yeah, maybe she could have a little search around the area.
Okay.
We don't want to disturb him, but just knowing where he is would be reassuring. We hope he hasn't gone too far, basically.
Okay. Other actions from Neathanol or Keros?
Keros would be concerned, and obviously with his emotional state. Is it possible that she could project a pink love heart and projected light into the air so he could see it?
Does she have that spell?
I've got projected light, but it's a beam of light. She'd like to bend it to a love heart.
I'd love to give you that, but I'm sorry, that is a spell mastery roll, which you don't have. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what she'd like to do. That's what, maybe she'll work on that.
Okay.
But yeah, no, she'd be concerned, and Neathanel would offer, if need be, if we're getting really worried, she could do some sneaky, so he wouldn't know that she's out looking.
Okay.
You know, he feels like he's been left alone, but we would know where he is. But we may not need to do that just yet.
Okay, sure. So I'm going to call it there with that amount of discussion and chat. That's the end of that round. We go into the next 20 seconds. Neathanel, you're first to act. What do you do?
That's me?
Yep.
Sorry,
that is you.
Can she hold? I don't want to send her off into the
Okay, done. She's waiting.
wild until if that's right.
What's she holding for? So remember...
Well, that she might need to go out and look for him in a sneaky fashion or an invisible fashion just to see he's okay, but doesn't want to just do that without discussion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grey is next.
Grey will want to cast, and he's gonna talk to Wingy.
Okay.
Just to see if she can see him.
Okay. What do you? Okay, so you cast a spell.
Yep.
Give me a roll.
Okay. 66.
66. No prep on that.
No.
Does it need prep? That's probably the question.
Ooh, good question.
But too late now. You have cast it, and 66 minus 30, and no preparation is negative 30. So that was a negative 60.
Oh no.
Is it an instantaneous spell, or is it a one you need to prepare for?
Let me see. How do you tell?
If it's got an asterisk next to it, it's an instantaneous spell.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
Well, very, very fortunately, it's a result of a 6. Do you have base spells?
The roll was 66.
Yeah, I've got that. Got it. Thanks.
Base spells. What do you mean by that? Sorry.
It's a skill. Do you have base spells?
Where would that be?
Leif, do warrior mages have base spells? Does Leif have a base spell skill?
He does, yes.
Great.
I think.
So it should just be your level, Grey, which is how much?
Level is 8.
Okay, cool. So it was a roll of a 66, negative 30 because you didn't prepare, negative 30 because your head's ringing, plus 8 for your level.
Yep.
So fantastically, it's a result of a 14. The spell does go off. What do you do?
He would call Wingy, and he would say, Wingy, I need you to search for handsome elf man. Just look for him. Do not disturb him. Come back to me.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Wingy gets it. I was going to put something in your chat, but Wingy gets it, and she flaps into the sky.
Awesome. Thanks, Wingy. Love you.
Next up is that was a 75% action. You got 25 left to act, Grey. Is there anything else you're doing for your remainder remainder of your round.
I think that probably took it out of him. He's just
Okay.
good at
Okay. Leif is next.
Yeah. Leif. Yeah, Leif will just sort of say to the group in general, let's have a quick look. He can take care of himself. And then my suggestion is we go back and then continue with attunement.
Okay.
And he will put that into action by he'll sort of wander to the side, look down. Well, he'll look around behind him.
Yep.
Walk in and wanting to do a perception, or he'll happy to use the rest of this round for perception.
Yep.
But he'll walk enough so they can look down the side of this side of the house down there. Yeah.
Okay.
Just he's just looking around in his side of his area of the,
Yep.
of the
Cool.
space and
Sure.
going around here, down there. Okay.
Cool.
And then he intends to go back in next round.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Give me. So that was 10% for you to say that. So you've got so 9. So hang on, 100 minus 10 to say that, minus 30 for the roll. You've got plus 60 to kind of having a quick look around. Give me a roll, please.
And a wee bit of movement off that.
Oh, look, yeah. Oh, yes, yeah. And then 10 off that, so plus 50 to the roll. Give me a roll, please.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. Ah.
It's must. It's must.
That's what the error is. 97.
97. 97. Cool. What's his perception?
It is 57.
Cool. So Leif, you have a look behind you. I mean, it's getting darker out there. The mist is coming in. There are odd sounds from the gloom. And you walk around here, have a cursory look down here. You can't see anything.
Thank you.
Cool. Next up is right. If you guys could do this again, sorry, a mouse click or two, and then ask Tarquin to rejoin me, please. Hello, Tarquin. You're on mute, Giles. There you go.
Sorry.
That's all right. So, Tarquin, you're here. A freebie is... And what kind of distance are you? 30 foot away. You hear sounds of Gray's bird, Wingy, quite clearly, even in the gloom, and the sound of her wings. You're around. What do you do? You're here.
Okay, so I'm going to start with a 30% perception, and he'll be looking for Wingy.
Okay. Give me a roll, please.
25.
25.
Yeah, 98.
Yeah, thank you. Roll again, please.
Ooh, 100. Damn it, what a waste.
Wow. Plus 98. Yep, okay. So, yeah, you see each other. So she flaps up. So you're here. The wall of the house is down here, as we can see. She flies from here and gets to about here. She's climbing this way, and she's about here. She's about 20 foot off the ground at this point. Her head is swiveling from side to side. You can't be 100% sure, but she certainly looks in your direction. And she makes a noise.
And I can't prepare, can I? Because that's a 90% action.
Yes, and you've done a perception of 30, so no, you can't.
Sorry.
Oh no, well, you
No,
did
I,
10%.
can I hold some of this over? Some of my 70% or not? You know how when we're loading and firing arrows, you sort of can hold them over, so you can fire like 8 arrows
That's
in a round?
yeah, that's the only skill that you can hold over, which is
Okay.
yep.
In which case, I think Tarquin will. I mean, obviously, arrow on the bow. He's crouched down. He'll have seen Wingy, so he would call out loud enough that he thinks the others will hear.
Yep.
And I think he'd say something along the lines of, "I'm sick. I need help. I'm unwell."
Oh, sorry. Bad GM, naughty GM. I forgot. Before Wingy flew, and sorry, this may change your actions, so I'm happy to go back and do it otherwise. You hear Etienne calling out in a loud voice, Tarquin, we're concerned about you. Words to the effect of, Tarquin, we're concerned about you. Take your time. Come back to us when you want to rejoin us, but rejoin us in peace. But take your time. There is no hurry. You come back to us when you wish. So that happened first. Then Wingy flew. I should have told you that first. So if you wanted to take back your perception roll, your call. But you did then hear Wingy, then you saw Wingy.
Okay, so I won't take back the perception roll because I think he still will have done it.
Yep.
But with the remaining 70% of his action, I think what he'll do, rather than kind of be ready to kind of draw and fire, he will kind of hold the bow with an arrow sort of on the string, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
So it's not going to be hard for him to fire.
Yep.
And I think he'll step forward and call out to the party, I'm unwell, I need some help.
How far do you step forward?
So he'll be looking much less offensive than he might have been.
So the bow is the arrow is pointing down, for example, but he's still got his hands on the string.
Correct.
Okay.
He's still got an arrow on the string. I mean, he's not looking completely relaxed. And
where is he moving? Where is he moving
he's
to?
Walk along the line of the building.
To there?
Yeah, no, probably not. Yeah, probably just far enough so the party can see him. Yep, that's right. So he can bolt, he can run.
Cool.
He could draw his arrow. I think he'd make line of sight contact.
Cool.
And I presume he's feeling pretty nauseous. And
he is. Yeah, he's still not at a minus yet. That after he nearly threw up on Etienne, the wave of nausea has kind of dissipated. But he's still not feeling himself. I would say so. 30%. That was nothing to move. So it was 15 foot. So I would say, looking at when he was 30%, moving 15, I would say even with moving, he would still have 50% of his action. That's where we're going. If you could please ask the rest of the party to come in and join you, and you have the remaining 50% to do something or not do something of your round. Cool. Thanks, Will. Someone go back and get Garros, please.
She went to the moon.
And give me a drink. Yes, so I've got the drink, and she's now. If you can ask her to. Oh no, she's here. That's great. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. So, two things happen in relatively close order. The first thing that happens is you hear an alarm call from Wingy.
Ooh.
And a second or so after that, you will see Tarquin appear at the corner of this building. Tarquin has an arrow on the string of his bow. He has the bow pointed down, so he's not pointing it at you, but the arrow is on the string. He's standing at the corner of the building. Tarquin, you've still got 50, as we discussed, you've still got 50% action. What do you do with the remaining 50%?
So I think he'd look at the party, look to see if anyone is. I don't think I need to do it, but I'm happy to do a perception roll if you want me to. He won't. If anybody looks like they might have a go at him. So other people, do they have weapons drawn? Are people looking aggressive or passive?
People don't have weapons drawn that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I mean, other than Demos, who always has a spear in his hand. Sure.
Okay, so I mean, it'll be one hand on his bow, his dominant hand. I think he's right-handed. That will be pointing towards the ground. He'll try and eyeball Mithan and say, I feel unwell. I need some help. This has been a pretty rough little passage of
Okay.
time.
Let's continue on that round. Demos is next, actually. Demos, any actions from you?
Demos wouldn't point a spear at him, but he would just be ready. He would want to hold his action if he needs to.
Okay. So, just a reminder: when you do have a holding action or an opportunity action, as it's called in this game, let me know what that opportunity action is to do. What is your plan?
He'd just be seeking to disarm.
Okay, great, thank you. Next up is Mithan.
Mithan would turn and face him, and she's quite calm. She says, she would say, "Glad to see you're still around. We were just concerned about your whereabouts. We don't want to. If you need time, you take your time. I'm happy to help you with healing, but not while you've got a bow in your hands. You're safe with me. And I have got one spell I can try. Otherwise, I'm not sure what else I can do for you. But I'm happy to try that spell."
Okay, great. We are in rounds, so Tarquin, you've acted. I'll come back to you next round. Next one is Etienne himself.
He will. He will just move forward a little bit, but he's not. I think that he feels that he got a bit. It was quite intense for him and Tarquin, and he doesn't want to pressure him anymore.
Tell me where he's moving to.
So he'll just move. Well, yeah, no, actually, he'll just stay where he is. Actually,
okay.
I think.
Done. Cool. And then lastly, Keros.
Won't be doing anything. She would try and smile at him, but appreciates what her face looks like. Not sure how reassuring that is.
Snaggled tooth. Yep. Okay. Sorry, Keros.
Poor Keros.
Poor Keros.
Can she hold 75% in case she needs to cast to disarm?
Sure. Yeah.
Please.
Mm-hmm.
And may I ask what Victory's demeanor is?
Fluffed up, looking, clearly has picked up on the vibe that something's going on.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, that is the end of the rounds. I think we are going to do one more round just in case. Rolling initiative. Really interested in kind of speech or actions or whatever, and appreciate probably speech is happening roughly the same time. Neathanol, any action from you or initial? Probably more if you're planning to do anything physical rather than would have a discussion, perhaps when it gets to Tarquin's turn if necessary. But it's more if you.
Mm. Yeah, no, sure. She's not going to do anything. She's just going to see how this plays out.
Okay. Leif, you were looking down the side of the building. You're here. You probably see a little bit of Tarquin here. He's got the majority of him is undercover. The vast majority of him. You might be able to see his hand or something like that.
See his bow.
Probably see his bow. Yeah.
Yeah, he will want to act. He will walk forward slowly, and he'll call out so Tarquin knows where he is. He'll say, I feel really sad that it's come where you feel you need to arm yourself against us. That was not anyone's intention. Apologise for that. Please let me know if anything I can do to help you. But otherwise, we're happy to leave you to your to process as you need to. Ask for help from us, but you're a member of our group. I think the rest of us can just continue with our evening. You come to us when you're ready, but you're one of us.
Where do you move? Where do you move to, Leif?
But he'll be watching Tarquin, and if there's any sort of resistance or any sort of defensiveness or any sort of sign he gets that he shouldn't move closer, he'll stop. But yeah, he'll want to move up as close as he can, really. But absolutely, just judging it from Tarquin's reaction.
So I'll move Leif here, but that may be based on what Tarquin does. You may end up stopping here or here, but we'll say you move. You'll say you move there for the moment. Okay, good.
Awesome.
Etienne.
Yeah, Etienne will just second what Leif has said.
Okay.
I think he sort of feels that, yeah, again, he feels he's made it. It was quite intense, and he feels that Tarquin perhaps doesn't need to hear more from him, even though right now.
Okay, great. Wingy called out an alarm and is kind of doing circles around Tarquin's head, and crying out every now and then.
He would just call Wingy back to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Anything else?
No. Where is he? Sorry, is he with Keros, isn't he? He'd just stay with Keros.
Okay. Done. Next up is Tarquin. So one thing I need to know, Tarquin, is do you make any kind of obvious impression that Leif is getting too close, or what's your action?
Okay, so what's the biggest perception roll he can do?
The biggest perception roll he could do is 70%.
Okay, so and that will leave in 30% of an action in 3 seconds. He could do something like let go of his bow, couldn't he? Which would be a 0% action, and speak to the party. He'll still have
70. If you do 100% action perception for the round, it's a 30% action for the perception, and then you're spending a lot of time looking and listening around. So that's 100% action. So you're spending the entire rounds looking and listening.
Because he doesn't want to do that. He wants to save enough of this round that he could either, get into an aggressive position and or drop his bow, and or speak. So depending on what he perceives.
So 10%, you have a negative 20 to your roll. A 30% is a minimum for perception.
Okay, so let's go for about 50%. And essentially what he is perceiving for is any sign of aggression other than Wingy from the members of the party.
Give me a roll, please. And this is open. This is a non-mast.
25.
25. So 25? You get a plus 20 because it's an additional. You spend an additional 2 seconds having a look and a listen, and then his skill of plus 98. 25 plus 20 plus 98. 143. Success. You're scanning everybody, so all of your companions are there. You don't see anybody with any weapons. You see people looking. You know these people well. You've fought with them. You've been with them for a grand total of. I'll tell you. Today is. This might be useful actually. Today is the 17th of the new month of the new year. You met these people. The 1st of last month. So you've known these people for a month and a half, Tarquin. You don't see any aggression. No one has a weapon drawn.
And I've been curious about this in the past, Chris. Is the capacity to perceive someone preparing?
Good question.
I don't know how much that's mental or not mental.
I'm going to say that there is definitely with casting a spell. If you're looking, if people are gesticulating or moving or whatever, I'm going to say not with preparing.
Okay. And so on the basis of the fact everybody looks non-aggressive, and that Tarquin's relatively confident in this perception because it's a success, he will drop his bow.
Mm-hmm.
and turn to Mithin and say, still feel unwell, feel worse. I need some help.
Okay.
I need to get it together. Or
Yeah,
something.
great. You didn't answer my question, though, which was how close do you let Leif get to you without...
I think on the basis of this perception and passiveness in the party, he's not really going to care how close Leif gets. He's not that worried about where... Can I just check, right at the very first time Tarquin joined this party, he was aware that someone tried to fiddle with his brain. Does he know who that person was?
Nope.
Okay, and he'll just let go of the bow and turn to Mithin.
Sure. Done. Okay, thank you. We'll play out the rest of this round, and then we'll go out of rounds. Keros.
Nothing. Hovering with Grey, with Victory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mithin.
So she can't read people, but he's dropped the bow and he said that to her.
Yep.
Yeah, nah. She'll be matter of fact. She'll stride up to him, and say and explain what she's going to do. So she's
She
right into
looms over him, of course. Mithin is huge, Tarquin's short.
Yeah.
So, yep.
But but in this mode, she's not scary. She just no, she's always a bit scary. She's always a bit sort of. She will say, honestly, I tried before. All I can offer you is an irritation release. I mean, yeah. So she tried the diagnostics, I believe, and was not very successful. She's not very good. But she will prepare.
Okay.
2 rounds.
Cool.
Ask if she can touch him, or
Yep.
Make contact and cast the spell if that's all right, or we'd wait 2 rounds or whatever.
Cool. Yeah, we will wait 2 rounds. Yep. We'll get out of this round anyway.
Yep.
Okay.
She'll explain that she's going to do that.
Great. And then lastly, anything from Demos I need to know about?
No, I think he would have seen him lower his arrows, and he would just kind of relax.
Okay. GM is going to nip out for a second. Back in a sec.
Seem to make things interesting, Jar.
Chris suggested I use ChatGPT to help me work out what I was going to do. So I set a whole lot of views into ChatGPT and put my character profile and sheet everything into it. And actually, it's scarily helpful. So while I was playing with Graham, essentially everything I did, I rolled on the basis of a table I had. So I just left it all up to chance. And you will have seen I've done one last roll here too. Same reason. It's it is actually kind of scary how useful this large language model kind of way of processing information is. It's a bit freaky. To the point where I wonder if it searched me up before I did it.
Really?
What?
Yeah. Because some of the way it responded to me, on reflection, I think you would need to be a medical doctor to understand.
Yeah. Right. That's weird.
It is so kind of
creepy.
Anyway, yeah. And look, as I said to Graham last time around, there were 2 rolls that things could have turned out wildly different. One kind of possibly very good, and one definitely very, very, very bad. Like, I really liked Tarquin, but might have been the end of him bad.
Oh.
It was an interesting session. All right, very good. We are going to come out of rounds now. What I'd like to do is just run through a general sense of what happens over the next 5-10 minutes. You guys are familiar with the drill by now. I'm just going to run down the list as I'm looking at it. First off, Grey. There's kind of a tension amongst the group that dissipates. Tarquin drops his bow. Mithin and Leif gone up to Tarquin. What over the next few minutes? What's Grey's intentions?
His intentions is just to calm Wingy down and just try anything to kind of sit still or just keep his head from swaying.
Okay. Yep. He's still feeling pretty groggy. Done.
Yep.
Thank you. Next on my list is Leif. Plan for the next little bit for Leif.
Yeah, Leif is going to feels really sorry. He feels really sorry for Tarquin that he's sort of become. It's been sort of us versus him sort of thing. Not that it is, but he's sort of he's aware that Tarquin might perceive it that way. So he's going to apologise that we gave him any alarm, and that Wingy's alarm, might have scared him. We were only wanting to establish where he was, but just to know where he was, not to interrupt him. Really, and Leif would just say he's really pleased that he's come back and that he's, Leif's happy just to keep nattering to him, want to be friendly, but he's going to be apologetic and he's going to be open to listening, basically, and just trying to get a vibe. But he wants to keep M.E.R.P company, and he's wanting to show lots of sympathy. Basically.
Cool, great, thank you. Understood. Lovely. Moving down my list. Keros, next little bit.
She will be distantly reassuring, not smiling too much at him, but we listen and we don't judge. Might just look, if you need anything, I'm here, but otherwise I'll be pottering around with my items.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Niathanel.
That's me too.
It is. Yes, it is.
She won't be outwardly reassuring, and she'll want to just keep an eye, so she'll be hovering, hopefully not aggressively, but just supportively hovering, and wherever he goes, she will follow.
Just keeping a wary eye. Would that be a...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Let's move now to Demos. No, let's move to Mitha. Casting the spell as mentioned. Anything else?
Yes. If she can, she'd like to do another diagnostics. And she's going to have a think through what herbs she's got, but she's at the... I think her spells are of no more use if the spell doesn't work. So
okay, we'll resolve that situation with some dice rolls in a second. I just want to get a sense from everybody else. Demos is next.
Demos is just gonna, he's just gonna kind of track everybody. I mean, track Tarquin's movement, and maybe just kind of mirror them in terms of like defensiveness. But I don't think he's gonna do anything too major. He's just kind of being aware of what's going on.
Okay, great. Etienne, and then finally Tarquin.
Etienne would want to make his way back inside. He would go via Tarquin, and he would just, I don't know if Etienne apologizes, but he would acknowledge, I suppose, want to acknowledge to him that their conversation was intense, and regrets if he that caused Tarquin to move away from him. Just sort of saying you're going through some stuff, and you need time to process it, and he's there for you when you need it.
And then heads inside.
And then he'd head inside.
Yeah. Cool.
He'd want to see what the response.
Yeah, well, and we'll come to that in a second. But yep. Well, let's go to that. Tarquin, how do you respond to that, and what is your plan for the next 10 or so minutes?
Okay, so I mean, look, he's kind of balancing the combination of feeling sick and wanting to get healed, and feeling a bit ashamed, really, and that's an uncomfortable emotion, right? So, it's not nice to feel embarrassed. And so, as well as on the ground, he'd probably want to engage with Mithan. He'd talk to her about the fact he carries aloe, which doubles his healing rate, and carries hugar, which induces sleep. And he has a herb called Truders, which provides disease resistance, and essentially he'd want to ask Mithan, and I guess the party generally, about how he can kind of get well, because he's not feeling very well, but before they carry on.
And what does he say, if anything, to Etienne particularly, or Leif, who are around him? Particularly Etienne, who's come up to him to say that.
Yeah, look, he'd make eye contact with Etienne and would kind of essentially look and feel. He's obviously embarrassed.
Okay.
And a little bit angry, a little bit uncomfortable. But yeah, so he wouldn't particularly engage with Etienne at this point.
Okay.
But everybody else around.
Etienne heads inside. Heading over to Mithan for your spell, please. You've prepared the required number of rounds. You're touching Tarquin. Give me a roll.
Yep, 34.
34. The spell is successful. What does it do?
It's a third level spell. It's called Minor Irritation Relief. Will heal 1 minor irritation, e.g. headache, toothache, bee sting, hangover, etc.
Okay. The spell goes off. It is cast on Tarquin. There's no immediate effect, Tarquin. The other question you had was, can you do another diagnostics check on Tarquin? Sorry, no, Mithan.
Yeah, no. So, how can you get better? She's run through the herbs that the herbs she's got for the party, and because I think before she did the purification ones, the disease purification and poison purification previously. So far as she's concerned, this isn't being caused by a disease or a poison. So she'd explain that. She's happy to cast those spells again if that would reassure Tarquin, if that would help. She'll look to him for confirmation from that, but otherwise she can't. Well, I can't see anything that would help. Can I do some sort of a roll to see if Mithan can, or to make connections with the herbs that she's got, or anything, Chris, or any,
You can give me a roll, sure.
I suppose that's what diagnostics really is.
It really is, and you can't roll another diagnostic. I don't know.
Yeah,
Actually, no, you need to tell me what you're rolling it for. I'm sorry, so no.
Yeah, no. Well, I guess it's diagnostics again. It's sort of making all those connections and saying what can we do to help. So, with no new information about what's about if there's no new information about what's causing this and what your situation is, that's all she can offer.
Mm-hmm.
But does Tarquin want those other spells again?
I mean, if it happened once, Tarquin wouldn't particularly want her to waste her power points, but he'd acknowledge the offer, and he'd find that reassuring.
Okay.
Okay, so yep. No. If he doesn't say he wants them, she won't do that. But she'll yeah, she'll be very matter of fact and just say, "Sorry, you're feeling unwell," and then sort of cough.
Okay.
in her way.
See you, bye.
That's she's showing her. That's her showing sympathy, basically.
Right.
And if there's more, if you think of more that I can help with, let me know.
Okay.
You're one of us, basically.
Talk me through generally, folk. What happens from now? The actions I should know about. What's the general plan?
Well, I guess Leif is actually wanting to talk a little bit more with Tarquin. But after that, I suppose you might say, well, I suppose that perhaps by consensus, the suggestion was back to attunement. If it's about 5 o'clock now, I've posted a watch list in the channel, which is for 9 hours, which means if we go to sleep at 9, we'll rise at 6. If it's 5 o'clock now, have we eaten? I don't think we have. So half an hour for some sort of a meal.
Mm-hmm.
Which half an hour for whatever else. So it's 5 now. So we've got 3 hours. We could perhaps be attuning items if we wanted to.
Okay. Great. So great. What happens?
Yep.
You'll head inside. Talk me through what. Give me something to react to, folks.
Eros would want to go inside and start moving through the items, and she'll drag her big oaf behind her.
He would lumber behind and would be hoping to see any kind of soft pack that he can just kind of sit and rest against.
Yep. Eases weary, spinning head. The 20 birds are definitely going round and round. Actually, they're little peregrine falcons. Yeah, peregrine falcons going around your head. Okay, you two head inside. Others, talk me through what others are doing.
Demos would head inside too. But he would want to come in probably last after everyone else that's coming in, just making sure that nothing is being left out, no one's straggling.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He'd be holding Jamie.
Yep. Excellent.
After Mithan had gone, Leif would be wanting to judge the Tarquin's receptiveness to a further conversation, but something sort of struck him as odd when Mithan came in and explained her interaction with Tarquin earlier, and that was that Tarquin seemed to want to be in control or to dominate her, and Mithan was sort of clear that she wasn't interested. Leif is happy to be, and he would just want to try and steer a conversation to putting himself in a subservient position, basically, apologizing a lot, perhaps putting himself on a lower level. I don't know. Just wanting to just judge if there's an opportunity. And I suppose he would start by where Mithan left off, which was she's got no further information. So meaning she saw him eat something odd, and that was sort of where this whole thing kicked off. So he would pick up on that, but very gently. He doesn't want to he doesn't want to cause aggravation, but he's wanted to give an opportunity for Tarquin to take control of the situation. So and so Leif would be saying, perhaps is there no further information that you can give Mithan, that sort of a thing. But very gently, he's not pushing anything. He's not wanting to set Tarquin off. But if he picks up on it, if Tarquin chooses to, then Leif will go with it.
Any kind of suggestion of any sort would raise his hackles. And if he kept going, he'd like out would come the daggers. We'd get aggressive again. So if it's that kind of Tarquin would let it go, but he'd make it absolutely clear no interest in talking about this stuff.
Okay, no, well, Leif would pick up on that as soon as he could and would move on, and then he would want to walk with Tarquin inside and want to treat him just normally.
Okay.
He doesn't think he's got anything to be ashamed of.
Okay, cool.
And he wanted to give that vibe through his feeling, and then Leif's intention would be to continue to pick up with the pigment as well.
And lastly, is Neathnal back inside the walls of this dilapidated house, cottage, whatever it is?
Will be wherever Tarquin is.
Okay, great. All right, you're back inside. You've told me you want to do some achievements. You have something to eat and drink. Critically, getting this little fire going, and there's only a little fire. And it was unusual to get it because, of course, I forgot to mention, because it is, and I forgot to put on the sound effects, because there is still drizzle today. And it was pretty amazing that Mithan managed to, if you remember, get this fire, pitiful though it is, lit and kept going because it's been drizzling all day. But the critical thing that you've been able to use that for is water. So you have been constantly using fires to purify water, to boil water safe to drink, and it has been a couple of days, so you are able to replenish your water flasks. So yeah, talk me through the achievements. Who's doing what, please?
Can I just ask a technical question, Chris?
Mm.
So the herbs I had do things like, heal hit points, but of course he's lost no hit points. Is there any value in consuming these if he's just feeling crook, or should he wait until there are some kind of mechanical problems?
A harsh GM might say you can do what you like and see what happens. Because I'm not a harsh GM, I would say you'd be wasting your herbs.
Okay, thanks. So Tarquin will just curl himself up in the corner, and essentially he wants to sleep because it looks like he's on keeping an eye out overnight.
Okay. All right. What are others doing? Talk me through it.
I had a little bit of a what's the word? Matrix, a little table going for the attunement stuff. Before we were rudely interrupted, John, is everyone happy for me to go back and just sort of make suggestions of who does what item? Is that helpful? I mean, I don't mean to be taking control or anything.
Yes,
but
please.
I'm sorry.
Karos can't remember where she's up to.
Yeah. And hopefully, Chris, you've got your tracking of the so you'll tell me if when I'm getting it wrong. So far we've got if Keros could attune the second broadsword. Have a go on broadsword 2.
Sure thing.
Okay. An hour to check and give me your roll, please.
It is 8, and the skill is plus 103.
Wow. There's masked, fortunately. So you pick up this sword. Now this sword's Neathanel had Leif had a attempt and had failed at the attempt. Coming into your chat in a second, and as mentioned in the other game, I will always put information in the chat, even if your intention is to share it with others. You may decide whatever, so you will always get, like it or not, you will always get the info coming into your chat now. Keros.
And Karos will share this. Okay. So this broadsword is a plus 10 magic weapon. It's specially magicked against demons, which is so helpful. Against any demonic creature, it attacks at a plus 15, and against Pale 2 or Pale 3 of any type, it inflicts ×3 hit point damage. I'll copy that.
Can I check? Does that require attunement to use that ability, those aspects of the sword?
No.
Because it's just the nature. Okay, cool.
But she figures out, no, it doesn't. It is just the nature of the sword. Anybody can use that sword, and it will. But you needed to figure out that's what it does first off. So Etienne anybody could pick up that sword, and that's what it would do.
Nice work.
What next? So that's one person for the first hour from 5 till 6.
I got Leif having a go on the braces.
Sure thing.
What they look like.
Yep. Give me a roll, please.
20.
And what's his skill?
58.
Get this result, Leif. Into your chats. Now. And then a little bit more. coming. Into your chat now, Lev.
Oh, okay. Thank you. He will share. He will share that with the party. And he'll also let the party know that he's not sure he's learned. He can't use them. He's not sure he knows everything about them. But these bracelets add 2 points to the effectiveness of any repel undead spell. They further act as a +1 spell adder for clerics. I'm not sure we've got any clerics, but the 2 points to the effectiveness of repel undead.
So if you could turn, so undead are classified in the lowest level, which is type 1. You could enhance any power of that effect, making more potent undead flee. Someone be able to use this. They would need to be attuned.
So, that sounds like a Etienne thing for sure, right? He's the one who's got repel undead spells, yeah? Cool, thank you. So there might be more abilities on that one, but yeah, and Leif can't use them. Cool, thank you. The next one I had on the list was Mithan tuning the longsword.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you give me a roll, Mithan?
73.
And what's her skill?
18.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Some information coming to you, Mithan.
She's pretty sure it's not enchanted. Well, next one was Neathanel on the first falchion.
Mm-hmm. That's you, Alex.
Oh yes, I'm waiting for you to say roll.
Oh
So
yes,
roll?
yes, please roll. Yep.
49, and she is plus 23.
49. Super. Yes. You do figure out what this does, and you can, yeah. So coming into your channeling, I'm obviously going to put it into Keros's. There we go. So just going over some of these weapons, or some of these objects, by the way, so people know. For people's benefit, for who that may not know, that is a falchion. Slightly curved sword, or that's a falchion. That's a falchion too. Versus a broadsword.
Sorry.
Yep. Yes.
So this is a plus 10 magic weapon.
Chris, is a falchion a short sword?
No.
It looks like it there.
No, it's not. It's considered a broadsword or a medium sword. Okay, so that's the first hour. Anybody else for the first hour?
Pre the interruption, we had Grey tuning. Perhaps not best with him at a -30.
No, his ability is not super high either.
More of a liability.
Yeah, it's like his ability is only plus 27. A -30 is not going to be very great.
-30 is pretty hefty.
Hmm.
Can I just check? Mithan had a bit of a think about if she could try and help Gray with that -30 as well, and I think she made it worse, didn't she? I think she can't help anymore there.
She kind of
right?
poked him a bit in his nose. Yeah.
Whoopsies. Okay, she'll keep well away. Did Tarquin have an attunement skill? He wasn't. I assume not, as he wasn't before.
No, he doesn't. No.
Perhaps not of the disposition to be attuning.
Perhaps not.
Anybody else for that first hour or next hour? Are we into the next hour?
I think we're into the next hour. Yep.
Mhm.
So that was 5 to 6. This is 6 to 7.
Yep.
And we'll have 7 to 8. So I've got Kyros attuning the long sword, please.
Sure. Assuming Kyros is willing.
Yes.
Give me a roll. It's a sword that looks like that.
96
Oh, what a shame it's masked.
plus
Ooh.
103.
Okay, Kyros.
Yes.
Goodness, this having my little Excel spreadsheet with who does what has just made my life so much simpler and so much better. Should have done this years ago. So you get this results coming into your chat now, and you can tell me what you want to do. Choice is yours. Coming into your chat now, Kyros. Hang on, and just let me get the information. You actually, as it turns out, your insight allows you to understand what this weapon does, and anybody can now use this weapon. But first you needed to figure out what it could do, and this is what it can do.
Oh, cool. So I need to decide. I need to do a bit more on it.
Well, no, you don't, because this actually doesn't need attunement. You just needed to figure out what it does, and your insight and playing around with it has provided that information. So now you or anybody else can use this.
Oh, okay. So this is pretty cool. It's a +5 magic weapon. It's specially magicked against undead, wraiths, and wights in particular. Did I say that right?
Mhm.
Against any undead creature it attacks at +25, and against wraiths and wights of any type, it inflicts ×2 hit point damage. So anyone can use this now.
Correct.
Very good.
Sorry, what sort of sword is it, Chris?
It's a long sword. What next?
What Lath uses. Right. Lath having a go at Falchion 2.
Cool. Give me a roll, please.
82.
What's his skill?
58.
You also figure out that this is as follows.
Cool. Thank you. He'll share that it is a +10 magic weapon. Fantastic. They're magic and +10. If no one uses them in our party, at least we can sell them, I guess, as long as we can carry them. Methanon Falchion 3, please.
Mm-hmm.
She rolled a 76.
And her skill?
18.
Oh, could you give me another roll, please?
Oh.
Could be good.
She won't point
Could be
at
very bad.
anyone. 12.
12. Okay. 12. Okay, cool. Nathan. Same again.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So, same again. There's Chris. Another. Paste. Felchin. I'm going to put Felchin 3. Cool. I could have this wrong. I think 3. We haven't done the breastplate. And I think, am I right to think there's still a second dagger to attune?
Let me have a look. I think there is.
I think I might well be.
There's a near success, so Leif figured out what it was, what one of the daggers was. Yes, correct. A second dagger that no one knows what, if anything, it does.
Okay, so if Neathnal could have a go at that, please.
Sure thing. Roll now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, please. Sorry, I should have said. Yes.
That's all right. 64 plus, what is she, 23? 27. Where is she? Plus 23.
Cool. Roll again, please.
Oh. High or low? Doesn't matter.
Who knows?
All masked. No pressure when it's masked. 74.
And what was her skill?
23.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Coming. Some information coming into your chat, Keros, but obviously for Neathanal. Coming into your chat now.
Oh.
Let's just have a squiz at something. Yep.
Okay. So she's pretty sure the item isn't enchanted, and she's annoyed it's a waste of her time. Although she could try again a bit later, but not right now. And she's sick of trying to figure the stupid thing out. So you'll let Neathanal know if and when.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
That's the end of the second hour, is that right? Okay.
Correct.
Third hour?
And I might. I wonder what our. this is an interesting question. How aware are the characters of each other's skills? For example, in attunement, how do we know that Kyros is really good at it and that Mithan's not?
Are you good at figuring out magic items?
Yeah, fair enough. Like,
Yeah, I'm good.
How much have you trained?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so we probably hopefully know that about each other. So all I'm trying to get at is that negative result.
Trying to game it, basically.
Well, that's the thing. What would our if we can come to a consensus? But when we turn up a result where an item has no ability, what's our thinking as a group around who tries again? Do we bother trying again? We just trust that person, just trust and throw it on the not magic pile? I don't know.
I think we'd definitely take another punt, wouldn't we? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to. Yeah, I'm happy to allow it. You know that Kyros rolled again, but that could have been an open-ended high, which could have been that actually there is nothing on this item.
well, just logically, doesn't it make sense that if you're trying to figure out what something does and you're awake, you're either going to sit and stare at the ceiling or you're going to have a punt, right? It kind of makes sense that characters would take a punt and see what they can figure out.
Yeah,
if someone's a bit rushed and someone's
that's a fair comment. Yep. I mean, there probably isn't a lot to do in the evening other than learn some magic or learn some languages or something. So, yep.
Yeah, we do have 2 more hours before bedtime by my calculation.
Okay.
And also bearing in mind, I don't think Nathan will be saying, "Oh, I'm the best at attunement." She'll be like, okay. I got a bit. I'm all right. So yeah.
Have a think. I'd also like you to do some plotting of what you're going to do later on, as well. As in,
sorry, what do you mean?
As in, what are the party's next steps? Because I'd be keen to move the game on a bit.
Yep.
Come back to you in a second.
Oh, I see. Sorry. Oh, yeah, right. Sorry. Yeah, cool. So I assume we wait the night out, and assuming that we've got a watch there, I hope that's okay with everyone. First one was based on Ray being a full elf. So as a plan of attack, does anyone else use a longsword?
Tarquin's totally useless against anything that's undead. He has no magical weapons, but he uses a short sword and I think it's a short bow, yeah.
I'm very unlucky with the... Yeah, man. Okay.
That's just life.
Yeah. So, because...
Did you say longsword, Pete?
Yeah, because Leif uses a longsword. His is +10, but no extra ability, so he would have his eye on that one.
Kyros does, but she doesn't use it very often. She's only +12.
You'd want it anyway, though, right? We may as well arm up in case.
Yeah. So I think I suppose we have a discussion about items. If Leif's okay to take that longsword, he'd be keen. Mithan and Etienne can talk about. Who else uses a broadsword? No. I think Etienne does. But so the plan for the next day, so if we make it through the night, we'd be wanting to go and visit Mr. Redface at the gate, the demon at the gate. What was our plan? I think that Etienne would want to cast some spells to give us advantage, inspirations. So to give us advantage on our rolls. What was our plan was to sort of try and command this demon somehow by using its name, and we'd use 3 people. Is that right?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Pete, but we've got 3 possible names, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about other characters, but Tarquin has demon and devil lore, and it would make sense for him to interrogate his knowledge to see if he knows which of these names is the most probable, surely.
Yep.
And
cool.
and also, I don't think Chris told us how to use the name, just that the name provides power over.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
So he'd probably want to interrogate his demon and devil lore too to see if he knows how to use it. And does anybody else have an ability like this? I'm not sure what other skill might help us know what to do.
He gets talking and commanding, I guess. But yeah, that's a great idea.
I don't
But
know.
I suppose
We've
the
got a really
idea.
good local protocol. Maybe the local protocol is to, control a demon. I wonder if GM Chance would let us get away with that.
All right, what happens? What happens now, guys?
Can we do it? Sorry, no, we're moving the game on, but just a quick kick of which items are still to be attuned. We can have the second dagger, last dagger that Nathan had to go has turned up nothing, so Kyros can have another go at that. But by my count, did we attune a black ring? I can't see that we've got something.
Plain black ring. Yes, I've got Leif as being successful on the black ring. It gives plus 10 to DB, plus 25 attacks. So that's
of course he's wearing it. Of course, sorry, I forgot about that. I'm just reading off Graham's spreadsheet, and I forgot we did the spear. So yeah, it's just that last dagger and the breastplate. So in the last 2 hours, Kyros and Leif will have a go at those each, I think.
Okay.
Oh, I think Kyros has had a go on the breastplate. So Leif will do the breastplate and the dagger.
I didn't have Kyros for the breastplate, but okay, yep, cool.
I think I've got that she did. That was in there just before we were interrupted.
Okay, yep.
But Leif will have a go on the breastplate and the dagger, and if Kyros can have a go on the dagger.
Cool.
That would be great.
Give me a roll, please.
Is that? Oh, that's you, Alex. Could you roll?
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah,
Yep, I
great,
can do
sorry.
that. No, that's all right. $95 plus 103.
Oh, what a shame it is, Mast.
I know.
Just 1 second. There we go. 95. And this was on the breastplate or the dagger? Leif? Kyros?
Was it the dagger?
It's the dagger. Okay. Wrong one. There we go. Kyros, this is what you learn. Coming into your Discord chat right now.
It's a +5 magic weapon.
Cool. Thank you. Can Leif please have a go on the breastplate?
Mm-hmm. Give me a roll.
Oh, he rolled a 1.
Could be really good. What's the skill?
58.
Okie dokie. Information coming into Leif's Discord chat in 1 second. Coming. Where's that? Was Kyros. This is Leif.
Well, he'll share that he doesn't think it's enchanted. Yeah. And so therefore, Mathan, I'd like to have a go at tuning it, please.
Sure.
Oopsies, that's the wrong place. Uh, 74. Oh, or did Kiros want to have a go in the last hour? But I did have that she has had a go at it.
Yes.
No, but
What's Mathan's skill, please?
18.
Okay. Mathan information coming into your chats.
Okay, cool, thank you. She will share that she doesn't think it's enchanted either. It's everyone who's sort of available for attuning having done it, so it's I think we're done with attunement. I think. Breastplate, demon claw, amulet, iron rod, spear, black ring, yes, platinum ring, braces, dagger, yep, falchions, broadsword, longsword, yes, based on that list.
Okay. Some goodies. The largesse of the GM. Have fun about who gets to get what.
Indeed.
What happens for the remainder of the night? Talk me through what takes place.
I guess we'd have a discussion about our plan for the following day.
Mm-hmm.
Leif and Mathan would be there. Spell learning, skill, singing, language learning, an hour or so of that.
Mm-hmm.
But was Tarquin going to do some thinking around demon law, I think?
Yeah, I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but I think we have 3 possible names for this red-faced demon.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not quite sure how this works, but I guess Tarquin would want to interrogate his demon and devil lore to see if he recognises one of these names in particular.
Okay.
And you also want to interrogate his demon and devil lore to see if he's aware of how to use the name to control the demon. I don't know if that's one.
Yeah, cool. No, that's cool. Yep. I'd consider it one and the same. Give me a master dice roll, please. Hope for a good number.
77. That's a pretty good number.
It's masked. And
That's
what's
still a good number because you asked for a good number.
What's his skill?
Yeah, not brilliant. 28.
Okay. Some information coming into Tarquin's channel. This will take a second or so for me to type it up. So just bear with me. Oops, no.
The GM is still typing, team.
Yes.
Well, I am perennially interested in how Discord knows the GM is typing.
Coming. Now, this could, of course, be a good roll, a bad roll. It could be a failure.
Yeah, it takes a long time to write Tarquin's brain explodes, I guess, doesn't it?
Coming. With you now.
Thank you. Okay, so I think Tarquin would do something he's never done before, probably ever in his whole life, and would call the party over and apologise for his bad behaviour. And in the process of apologising, he would tell the party he has a sense that he might know how to use this name. And I'm going to paste this into the main game channel just because I'm a little dyslexic, so I'm not good at doing words that aren't common. But essentially, Tarquin would say he thinks it's between these two names, Terraglustrud or Taraglustrud. That he thinks that this might be the name of the demon, and all we need to do is simply call him by his true name and command him. So the use is easy. And he'll see what the party wants to do with that. And I guess bearing in mind the way Leif was a little on the subservient side towards him, he'd probably, I mean, I think in the past he would have mostly directed this to Etienne, but I think he'd probably direct it mostly to Leif. But obviously the whole party would hear.
Cool. I guess it's on Etienne to sort of acknowledge Tarquin's apology, perhaps, and to just sort of say, think nothing of it. We all have our demons.
Pardon the pun.
You're one of us. And then, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have a speech prepared. But Etienne would say something about love and love conquering all, and that and that's the power of love. That things might come between people, but that you know, we can move beyond. And it shouldn't, yeah. I think, speaking for Leif and the rest of the group, but Leif, we'd be really appreciative that he's sort of got that information, because that was something was missing. So that's good to know. And thank you. What's the plan? We've narrowed it down to two names. That's great. That's really helpful. We have two people go up and attempt at the same time, or we attempt in sequence, or
Yeah, sleep, get up in the morning. I think two people need to choose a name each and go have a go at commanding the Red Demon.
And sort of they say it at the same time, or they each give each other the space to say the name correctly. They both say, I command you, and then one person goes their name, and then the person straight after goes the other name straight away to do this or something.
Yeah, it's really clever.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know. So, but each has a time to say it clearly, and we just choose which one goes first. Hopefully there's no bad. So what do the rest of us do? So Leif's got the ring that's protective from demon-y stuff, adds to his DB, and Etienne will cast the inspirations spell. And we've got another volunteer. I think Etienne would probably volunteer. As he's the genitress, the platinum. He would consider this demon to be his foe. But I think undead are his foe. But I think that anything sort of. But if anyone else would want their character be up front, they should say.
I think Gray's probably still going to be a bit out of it, so I don't think he's going to be up to shouting at demons. But if nobody else wants to go, Demos would be happy to do it. But yeah.
Well, yes.
Garrus doesn't want to go, and instructions from Graham are that the Athnal should let Etienne lead.
So I guess Etienne would be leading here, and I suppose he would say that he and Leif he thinks it should be he and Leif, unless Tarquin has got a particular desire, or no.
Tarquin definitely doesn't want to do this.
Okay, cool. Leif would suggest, do we want to have ropes tied around us for some reason? So the rest of the party are further back, but still sort of, yeah, do we want ropes tied around these two in case there's some sort of control that gets them under and they can be pulled back, or I don't know, as a precaution? I don't know. Seems weird, but who knows? Who knows?
Actually, probably quite a good idea.
Yeah. Can I just double check, Chris? I can't remember. Oh no, actually, I wasn't there. It was in the Ethanol. What was the setup of the gate? Was there a moat and a drawbridge, or was it just?
There was just a
road
moat.
right up to the
No,
gate?
there was nothing in between. The Veer passage ended, and there was a gap of some 20 or 30 feet towards the face, this horrible red face.
So we're assuming that the demon has got some way of controlling a bridge or an entry, or maybe we've just got to fly across ourselves. Who knows? Okay, cool. Okay, there's a general plan.
Yep.
So
Sleep
time.
tonight, get up in the morning, yeah? So we're all
Yep.
at full power
Yeah.
points and stuff. Yep.
Yep. So we've got 9 hours sleep. There's a watch list in the
Okay.
channel.
Okay.
And can I just check, do we have some magical daggers here?
Yes, that last one that Kyros attuned, dagger 2, was a magical dagger.
Tarquin would be pretty keen to swap out one of his plain old daggers for a magical one.
That one at least will do. Yeah, plus a +5 magic weapon.
If others are happy, I mean, it means he can do better than nothing against baddies.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. We have a list there. So you after the attuning that you've done, Tarquin has calmed down a bit. He's shared some potentially good information. I mean, it could also be of complete and utter nonsense, of course, because who knows? But he shared some information. You either fall asleep or you remain on watch, and the watch's order is in there. That's really helpful. Thank you. Over the course of that evening, you don't have a quiet night, unfortunately. Perhaps not surprisingly, you don't have a quiet night. And you are beset that evening by a number of foul creatures that you have seen before. Quite a number, 6 or 7. They swarm this tumble down ruin of a shack that you're in. We aren't, however, going, in the interest of time and moving things on, we aren't, however, going to roleplay out this fight. You're in a reasonably defensible position where you are. You've got a fire at the front door as made. You've also got Demos with a long spear plus various weapons, some of them new. And as these things come to attack you, you dispatch them with, I wouldn't say ease, but you are able to slay them. It's a... Oops. Particularly unpleasant, nasty fight, but you do manage to slay them. As per previously, when we have done this, however, there is the chance, 16 or under, that for each character, that you get attacked. Now, how this could work, there'll be some characters who'll be staying back, presumably Keros and perhaps some of the others, maybe at the back. But if you go to this building, it is quite dilapidated. The roof is coming in at the back. Maybe some of these things are coming into the back. So I'd like each one of you, please, and if you're playing someone else's character, please make a roll, and this is just pure dumb luck. If you roll 16 or under, you are attacked, and we roll an attack on you. Let me know if you're affected and which character is affected. Please make a roll. Cross your fingers. Now, again, you can't be killed, You cannot be killed. You can have up to a medium injury on you, but you definitely can't be killed. And when you're ready, come off mute and let me know if your character has been affected.
Sorry, Graham, I went. Yeah. Sorry, Graham, I went alphabetically. So E comes before L and M. Etienne rolled an 8.
An 8. Etienne.
Leif and Mathana are fine.
Leif and Mathana are fine. Okay. Anybody else other than Etienne?
Keros and Neathno are fine.
Yeah, Demos and Grey are also fine.
Chris, just so you know, something Tarquin wants to do is cast night vision and darkness, because he wants to know if darkness affects the capacity of these things to find what they're up to. Mostly because he thinks it'll be useful when they're inside Tarek Nev. So I don't quite know how you want to do that.
Say again, sorry.
So he wants to cast night vision so he can see, and then he wants to cast darkness. I mean, the purpose of which is to see if these people can function.
Oh,
if
okay.
the darkness is useful in terms of confusing.
Yes, you can do that. You can do that. So you
prepare for the dance and stuff.
Yep, sure. So that, however, doubles the chance of your so yes, they can function, but that doubles the chance of your companions being hit. So if you rolled a 31 or less, you got attacked because you can't see what's going on.
Sorry. Well, I haven't cast the spells. I might fail them, right? I should probably roll to see if they work.
Yes, you should. Yep.
Man, I really hope they don't bother. Yeah, no, they both go off. Stink.
Both go off. 2 spells go off. If you rolled a below a 32, you've been attacked in the darkness, in the pitch black.
He can pump this thing out. I mean, he's not a moron. He would want to be casting it in a way that doesn't affect his peers, but affects the baddies.
You're right. You are.
Go with what you say, Chris.
You are. Yeah, you are right. Maybe that's a little bit unfair. But to do that experiment, no, I'm gonna stick with it. To do that experiment mid combat, not sure what's going on. No, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with it. If you rolled a 32 or less, you've been hit. Who does that now affect, if anybody?
Both Grey and Demos rolled 25s.
Okay, cool. So firstly, the very first one. So Grey is affected. So Grey, you are attacked. Now, nothing may happen, of course, because they may. Oh, it did roll a 71 on you, Grey. Yes. So Grey, you unfortunately take 14 in a B, and you get hit for an 86. You get knocked down, Grey. You're stunned and able to parry for 3 rounds. That's now negligible. You take 10 hits, and you take 3 hits per round. In the grand scheme of things, Grey, now you get all that experience, so you do get a B critical. You do take 10 hits, and you are bleeding. Had this been actually in the middle of a combat, that would have, like a real combat, that would have been a serious problem. In the scenario that we're doing, in the confines of this, you are in effect not mortally wounded or badly injured, and you do have your hits are recovered and your bleeding is stopped. So actually, while 2 serious results, the main thing that comes out of it, Grey, is your 24 hits down. You're bleeding for a bit. We'll just say your 24 hits down, and we can do any healing or so afterwards. Next on my list is Leif. Was Leif affected?
No.
Okay. Was Keros affected?
No, but Neathno was.
Okay, cool. So let's make a roll. Oops, this is. Oh no. So a roll on Neathno, attacking Neathno. Oh, that's so annoying. It's just gone straight, a little bit out of my... Anyway. 45, Neathanel parries. Yes, Neathanel does. She gets scratched by one of these things. She takes 4 and an A tiny. It's a tiny critical. It's the most feeble critical of the game. Neathanel, minimal damage. She takes another 4 hits. So she's taken 8 hits total. Minimal damage, but she does get the benefit of an A critical experience. Going down my list, was Mithan affected?
Yes.
Okay. Mithan, the attack on you. This one's actually going to try to bite you, and you turn it aside with your shield. Yeah, it doesn't come close. You don't. It doesn't affect you. You're okay, Mithan.
Thank you.
Next one is Etienne. Was Etienne affected?
Yes.
He was. Yes, great. On Etienne, this was a claw on Etienne. 4 hits. Glancing blow from Etienne. Etienne's encased in steel. This creature's claws, maybe it rakes across his face. 4 hits, and that's it. And then lastly, was Tarquin affected?
Well, I mean, he's existentially affected. Even if the dice roll means he's not.
Okay, great. So that was the effects of the night. Grey, you took the most hits, another 24 hits, and there was some other minor damage from others. I'm suspecting that Grey.
Demos also was attacked too.
Oh, he was? Or did I miss Demos?
Yeah.
Oops.
I mean, he's happy to not have
Sorry, I missed that. Here we go. Attack on Demos. Attack. Roll of a 34. A glancing blow on Demos. Just a whisker. 3 hits on Demos. Grey's having a rough couple of days, actually. So the hits per round we can negate and say that's done. But Grey has taken. He was on 122. He's on negative 24. Yeah, he's taken 24 or so hits. I'm suspecting he'll be healed at the end of this quite nasty fight. If so, yes, please make a roll, please, Mithan.
Whew, 6.
6. The spell does go off. How many hits has Grey healed?
17.
17. Nice.
Chris, he was down 22 hits, wasn't he?
So Grey, you're back on 115. Sorry, Giles?
Tarquin would have offered
Tarquin.
Grey one of his doses of aloe, which doubles his healing rate, if that makes a difference. I don't know if it's needed.
It doesn't with healing hits, but
Okay.
yep.
Thank you, though.
Okay, so after an unpleasant night of dealing yet again with these foul horrors, and you go through the now somewhat, I wouldn't say process, but you've now dealt with these on 2 or 3 occasions. You chop them up, the same with what you dealt with this horrible thing. You split them up, you burn what you can in your quite feeble fire. You manage to keep your feeble fire going all night. After that unpleasantness that evening, you wake the next day, for those that aren't on watch, and the good news is the rain, the light drizzle has stopped. What do you do?
I guess we pack up our stuff, get ready to go, and follow that plan. The idea is to go back to the gate.
Okay. If anybody's...
Check out
Sorry.
I was going to check out just make sure that carefully go back to the gate, bit of scouting as we go.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan was happy to just go on ahead a little bit. Before we sort of get within earshot eyesight of the gate, we stop and sort of gather our wits and talk about what we're doing. The whole plan would be Leif and Etienne going out the front with ropes tied to them, the rest of the party coming along behind and being at the end of those ropes. So 20 foot away, 30 foot away, 20 foot. Leif and Etienne Etienne would want to be casting. He have spells he wants to prepare and cast before walking out. Depending on the duration of the spell.
Okay.
We'll just check on that. But yeah.
Okay, let's get to the gate. Well, let's move you on. Anybody else doing anything, saying anything else I need to be aware of? Nope. Okay.
Tarquin would give us the area rope he'd be happy to use, and I guess everybody who can be prepped would be prepped in case it all goes pear-shaped.
Surely not. So you sorry, Gray, go for it.
Oh no, I was just laughing.
Okay.
Things not going pear-shaped.
So you set off from this quite dismal hut. It's been the site, I should say, of some interesting situations. Tarquin, a little bit of information in your chat just before we progress on. In 1 second. Okay. You continue up the roadway. You're only 20 minutes away from the walls of the city. And you walk on. Just to refresh your memory, you're walking up a roadway, a mixture of this, slime, moss. It was a couple of days ago that you dealt with the children of the moss, but you now look at every kind of slimy, mossy surface with some degree of distaste. You, about 15 or so minutes away, the sound of lapping water increases, and you see through the breaks in the trees the walls of the city approaching yet again. 1 second, GM's just going to change a map.
Chris, I've asked you a question in our channel.
So a bit of narration from me, guys. So just hold your horses and hold any questions or whatever, please. Okay. So "20 minutes or so of cautiously walking up this roadway, you have seen the walls of the city. Now, there is no red face there just yet because you're currently skulking, lurking, whatever, back here. But you can see enough of the way on that the air passage finishes, and there's a gap of some 50 foot to the walls themselves. That's the scene. You can see you obviously are unaware of anything down here, but you are aware, lining the walls, they're relatively small, but you had noticed them previously, certainly Neathanel had, and she points them out to you again. About half the height of a person, so about 4 or 5 foot high, are these black stone statues of a bird. They look like it's got a raven's beak. Probably a little bit far away to see the yellow eyes this distance, but you certainly see several of these statues. They appear to be made from stone, and they are probably about 4 or 5 of them dotted around here. You have stopped as a group, not quite there, but a little bit further back. GM is going to again vacate for a sec, and I'll give you a chance to discuss. I'll be back in a second.
What's the plan, do we think? How do we feel?
Should we kill those statues before they come alive?
Yeah, maybe. Well, I think those are the statues in that recount of the vision stone we saw, or the vision we saw. I think some of the winged beings that their allies tried to fly in and were attacked by statues on the walls. So that was if they're flying. But maybe if we screw up on controlling the demon, that's how we'll be attacked, perhaps.
Yeah.
So do we want to scope out a sheltered place? Sheltered from the air, off the path before we go around? Because we've been keyed into that there's been aerial attack, so preparing for that's not a bad idea.
Yep.
Well, we can just tell Chris we're going to be somewhere safe from aerial attacks, and we're going to prep for that if we need to. So one person should be facing forward towards Etienne and Leif in case it goes wrong, and the others, including old Spearmaster Man and Beastmaster, should be keeping an eye in the sky, right?
Do we all want to be out? Because I'm not sure what the scale is, but I think that I think for us to be holding onto the ropes, we all have to be out in the open when the talking happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where we hide. I mean, we don't want to get off the path, do we?
No, true. But we want a place to get back to if we start being attacked by it from the air, right? Yeah. And what are Etienne and Leif saying? Just essentially, let us in. We command you to let us into the city safely.
I call you by your true name, and then one of them uses
and really quickly, and then they,
Right, but yeah, it's I've posted into the chat. So Chris says, I call you by your true name, blah blah, to do blah blah. And so I think it should be, I call you by your true name, blah blah, to follow my commands.
Follow my commands.
Probably command him to not attack us, to keep us safe, to drop the drawbridge and allow us to pass. Maybe.
Follow my commands. Okay.
So yeah, as you'll see in the chat, it just says X, but that seems to make sense, right?
Yeah, cool. Thank you. I was hoping I wasn't being too basic or too simple. But...
Well, yeah, I'm guessing. I mean, we could be more specific, but that would be, unless other people, I don't know, Aiden or Alex, you've got other thoughts.
James back. What happens?
Just having a little. So from where we are, we have noticed those raven statues. Yeah.
Yeah.
We sort of just talking as a group. Just we connected that to in the past, in the vision we had, the winged allies of the group tried to fly over and were attacked by statues on the wall. So we're making sure we're figuring it's them. They might come and attack us somehow. Is there a place off the side of the path or a place we could fallback position that's protected from aerial stuff? Just to designate one or sort of look around and have a look whilst we've got an opportunity.
Give me. I mean, you can see that there's jungle going.
Yeah.
Similar to jungle such as that. There you go. So there's that kind of stuff either side. So it's pretty dense, pretty thick. So arguably you could go into that anywhere way along and potentially find cover.
Cool. Okay. Cool. So, but nowhere specific where there's a bit of a bigger gap for we could all sort of cram in immediately. I mean, it's all pretty uniform.
Pretty much. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Then the plan is that what's the distance from where we're waiting to the gate, please, or to the end to the?
So you're not quite where you are there because I'm just a little bit short of a map. But that distance there, let's say the edge of that map to the edge there is 310 feet.
Okay, to do the map. I'm just. Sorry, I'm just wanting to figure out Etienne's spell stuff.
Take your time. You're doing us a big favour by playing 2, so all good.
And Pete, while you're looking at that, we at some point this red-faced dude is going to yell at us, right? I mean, he yelled at Sneaky Yak, and when he yells at us, then we can respond now. So we can probably sneak close enough, or these two can, until they get followed at, maybe.
Until they get yelled at, yeah, right.
We creep forward, they hollered at and Yakana, well, she was being as creepy. So whatever it is, he's going to spot Lace and Etienne. He yells, we respond. That seems to make sense, and everyone else hangs back.
I see. So we don't need to be up close to do that, to use his name.
Well, we will know that he hears us, right? Because we've heard him. I mean, that's logical.
True. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. So as soon as he starts yelling, we do our yelling back. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, good point. Okay, cool. Right. So Etienne would like to now. He's got a transcend armor.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Has he got one free use a day?
He does. Yes.
Does he have to use that, or can I do a roll? Because we're out of combat, and if possible, it'd be better to use his free use of transcend armor for when we're in a tight situation. It's not a tight situation now.
No, he's got to use it.
Okay, cool. Then he'll use that, please, and cast on everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that spell? He would like to cast Inspirations 2, which is the one that adds +10 to melee attacks and moving maneuvers.
For how long?
For the duration of the spell, which is 1 round per level, which is why I was trying to figure out the distance, because we're about to move forward. Hang on, just thinking, we want that one longer or that one longer? No, actually, he'll... no. Oh, my goodness. Sorry. 18. Those are that one and that one. No, okay. No. He'll start with Symbol of Courage.
Okay.
Which is everyone within 10-foot radius for 1 round per level, and he is where's his level? 8th level. So I've got 8 rounds of this. Oh man.
I'm gonna need to shoot off.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No worries. I'd be keen to play on a little bit, but how are people placed?
I mean, I can talk to Grey and Demos, both of them. I mean, Grey's not going to be doing a whole lot if he can avoid it.
Yep.
He'll just be trying to help out if he can, while also not doing anything too strenuous. And Demos is just helpful. He'll do whatever.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. For the remaining 3, no worries, Aidan. You'd mentioned you've got to shoot away, so thank you very much. For the remaining 3 party members, do we want to play on for a little bit longer? Do we want to call it at 1? How are people placed? Alex, Giles, and Pete.
I want to get these words said. Yeah.
I'd just love to move the story on rather than doing achievement. That's all.
Yeah. Want to get this demon named.
Yeah.
Alex, how are you placed?
Yeah, I can play a bit longer. I mean, stuff to do, but it's not set in stone.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be good to chat to the demon dude, though.
We chat.
Have a little chit-chat.
Okay.
You
Cool.
can talk to Chris anytime you like, Alex.
So play on for another at least half an hour, maybe a little bit longer. All right, thumbs up. Cool. Great. Aidan, all good, mate. Thank you.
Awesome.
Lovely.
Thanks, guys.
Nice one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Nice
Bye.
one.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, have
Bye.
fun.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye bye. Actually, the spell he's going to cast. Oh, no, sorry, I'm trying to trying to predict what's going to happen. It's a demon, scary demon. Yep, I'm going to cast actually Symbol of Courage, which is one that adds. You get a second resistance roll for fear. So, yep. So prepare and then cast that, please.
Okay, so this one he doesn't require Transcend Armor. Give me a roll, please.
Oh, sorry. One.
His first spell of the day, whatever spell it is, at any time. At any time.
Sorry.
So you can't game it. That's the first spell of the day he gets without needing to cast Transcend Armor. Any spell after that, he needs to use Transcend Armor.
Yep. Ah, I rolled a 93.
93. The spell goes off.
Cool.
What is the spell, please?
Oh, the spell is Symbol of Courage, which is using his sword.
Mhm.
All allies are within the radius gain an extra resistance roll against fear or panic causing effects. Both the original and the second roll are made with a +10 modifier.
Great. How long?
Lasts for 1 round per level. So we've got 8 rounds of this, which is hopefully enough time for them to move forward and at least start their conversation. So they're doing it just as we've got ropes tied on, we're all ready, and we're moving forward. Yep.
Okay.
So Etienne and Leif at front, and the rest of the party giving them 20-foot space. 20 foot.
Etienne, Leif, and how close do you go, and how close does the rest of the party go behind you?
So we're walking up,
Yep.
and in the open, when that guy starts talking, is when we stop moving forward. If the Reef guy starts talking.
And your companions are 20 foot behind you, is that right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So something like... Alright, cool. So something like that.
See, Chris, I think we'd be on the side because these big tall these big tall kind of walls along each side, right? So we'd probably be fairly close to a
No. Sorry, it's not a wall. It's just the undergrowth. So, yeah. Is that where you are? Tell me yes or no.
That looks
Yep,
good.
great. Okay, so you move forward. You're going at the pace of the slowest member of your party, which I believe is Keros. How far can you move in around Keros?
Not far, because she's got a
Limp.
base movement's reduced by 25, so I can do 37 around at a walk.
Okay. So to there is 219 divided by 37. That's 5 of your 8 rounds. You get up to this position here, and there is a shimmer. Feels like the jungle, this hideous jungle, holds its breath. It feels like the water lapping the piers, the Vier passage, stop. It feels like the insects just pause, no sound. And then there is this and suddenly in front of you, for the second time, this hideous, hideous red face appears in the gateway. It is 30 foot high. It looks almost precisely that. It is loathsome in its appearance. It has fat, bulbous lips, and this large, horrendous tongue licks over its lips. Pointing out between its teeth are spears, and you can see on the map out of its mouth are
easily 8, 9, 10-foot long spears. And then, again, for the second time that you've heard it, this terrible voice.
What out, thou pitiful mortals? How dare ye trespass and disturb mine eternal rest? Dost thou know to whom thou seekest?
What happens?
Etienne and Leif will say, I call you by your true name, and then Etienne will use the name.
I want to hear the pronunciation very clearly, please.
Hieroglystrod. Yep. And Leif will say Hierogustraud. To follow my command.
Coming. In the meantime, while it's thinking, it does say,
Hast thou any inkling of how many have entered, and of how few have returned? Tarek Nev shall be thy grave.
here we go.
What did say? Are you destroying my good name? How dare you, mortal scum?
So you both said it at the same time.
Okay. Etienne will say his one by himself then.
Which
I call you by your true name, Hieroglystrod, to follow my command.
okay, and it is Etienne saying that first.
It's Etienne saying that one. Yes.
Okay. So there is a pause and a shudder. And this creature's face screws up in rage. And one of these spears rockets out and lands with a colossal smack into one of these trees. And there is a hideous growl from this thing. And then
Leif would like to say his
Bound am I by ancient oath, O loath, I must allow thee to pass.
Ooh.
and there is a terrible noise. Horrible, loathsome noise. It's the sound of slime, it's the sounds of slurping, and these giant red bulbous lips part. And there's this kind of slopping, wet, damp sound as this colossal red tongue, reeking and steaming with slime and filth. And it kind of flops like this big slab of meat that it is across the 50-foot chasm that did separate you from the Vier passage to the walls of Tarek Nev. And there is blackness beyond. What do you do?
Blackness. So we can't. So it's entirely black inside.
Yes. You're walking down its throat.
We can all see this.
Yes.
Wow.
Etienne would like to add, so he said to follow my command. So Etienne would like to add, you will let us pass without harm. Any response?
From this thing, and its face creases in utter loathing and rage. And another one, two of these huge spears, this time a little bit closer to you, rocket out. One hits here, one hits here. And it growls again.
Let's go.
Go in. Yep.
What we're here for, right?
Yep. Gross though. Change my shoes. What do you think, Kiros? In we go?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Like a slippery dip. Water slide.
Oh, woo! Do we take a run up?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
Let's walk down the throat of the demon.
I think we take the ropes off, stow them, and then we go down the throat, or quickly unharness ourselves so we don't have a leash, and then off we go.
You move up. This tongue is red, it's soft and pulpy. It stinks.
Oh.
It smells like everything wrong, everything rotten, everything foul. It smells of excrement and vomit and rotting flesh and just pure, unadulterated evil and wrongness. You put your foot, Etienne, first off, onto this creature's tongue. Everything in you, Etienne, is repelled. This is your foe, after all. You are a child of Aphrodite, and this thing is unclean, is the epitome of unclean, and you are standing on its tongue. The same with you, Leif. You come up and put your foot on this, and your feet sink into the goo and the flesh of its tongue. You move forward, followed by your companions. Any actions I should be aware of? Anybody doing anything, saying anything, etc.?
I just say, sorry, on that, Chris, actually, I don't know Etienne well enough to know if there'd be if you'd have a thing about this. So Graham might want to actually.
Graham's not here. What do you do?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. No, I'm just saying. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. No, we go in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just-
I think we'd all be maximally prepped, right? Just in case.
Yep. Party order. What's that? Etienne, Leif at the front, or whatever our normal. Oh, Paul Gray.
Yes, full grey. There is another. And just the sounds of terrible foulness around you. Icha, and the sounds of incantation. Again, one last growl, and then suddenly and that view is gone. And you find yourself somewhere else. Just coming. Oops. different sounds affect your ears. Do you find yourselves here? Describe what you see in a second. Firstly, behind you is the gap that you've just crossed, the V.E.R. passage just there. And all of your characters are standing here, just inside the gateway. You step into the ashen stillness of Tarek Nev. The air heavy, the smog-like haze that obscures vision beyond a few places. Ash, greyish-white, drifts down regularly from the sky, adding to, or perhaps the reason for such poor visibility. Ground beneath your feet crunches faintly, coated in a thick layer of white and grey ash, like the remnants of countless fires long extinguished. Here and there, as you can see on screen, skeletal palms claw up from the desolation, their fronds brittle and drooping as if on the verge of giving up. Twisted vines, mottled grey with ash, snake around their trunks, while large patches of repugnant moss cling stubbornly to life, their sickly hue only heightening the oppressive decay of the scene. Turning back, your eyes trace the path you've travelled, the V.E.R. passage yawning like a ghostly memory across the expanse of the moat. The shimmering distortion of the passageway behind seems alive, almost sentient, flickering at the edges like a heat wave on a scorching plain. The red guardian that had once loomed menacingly is nowhere to be seen, yet its absence is unsettling rather than comforting. The oppressive, natural shimmer almost invites you to look away, its presence teasing you at the edge of a reason. The air itself feels wrong. Damp, suffocating humidity presses against your skin, mingling with the acrid tang of decay and stagnant rot. It's a smell that seems to cling to everything, saturating your senses with a pungent reminder of unclean, undying stillness. Occasionally, a listless breeze stirs the ash underfoot, forming whirls and fleeting patterns that dissipate as quickly as they appear. Above, the sky defies logic. The sun, from the limited amount you can see of it obscured by the falling ash, lurches across its domain in fits and starts, jerking forward, freezing in mid-motion, and then leaping backward, as though manipulated by unseen hands. Each frozen moment casts harsh shadows over the group, only for them to flicker and shift with the sun's erratic dance. Dull orange glow filters through the haze, casting a grim pallor over the landscape, turning the ash-covered ground into a tableau of despair. Mournful sounds of the place creep into your consciousness, low and almost imperceptible at first. Then they swell, a discordant orchestra of sighs and groans and wails, each note anguish. Some are like soft, distant sobs. Some are screams. And then suddenly piercing. Yes, sorry. Some are soft, distant sobs, others sharp and sudden, pierce the silence with malice that chills the blood. It's as though the land itself mourns, or worse, mocks your presence. And then the sounds cease. An unnerving stillness settles over what you can see. A sinister calm at odds with the disjointed horror of the sky and earth. Tarek Nev is no longer just a destination. It is a threshold, a place where good things falter. And every step forward feels like a step closer to something profoundly unknowable and terrifying. You and your companions are here. You don't want to be, but here you are. Decaying, foul city awakes. And to give you a sense of, you don't see the buildings, you see the remains of buildings. And it's not even the remains that look like this. It's more that. So literally just the foundations of buildings, but everything you can see is just covered in ash. Pitiful pieces of vegetation, slimy, horrendous moss covers much of what you can see. Nothing actually above probably about 5 or 6 foot, but this gives you a bit of a flavour of what you see around you. And then you start to hear some noises. The sounds of battle, distant and horrible, and screams of men in pain and suffering, and then stops. You're inside Tarek Nev. What do you do?
Right.
Great. Okay.
Oh.
Grounding confusion.
Can I just check? So the sounds of battle, like they stopped sort of abruptly.
Yeah, and then suddenly just now you're hearing the sounds of children. And then
Oh, yeah.
what do you do? It's about as far as you can see. There's, just to give you a sense, a gate you've come in by, the walls of the gate you've come in by, and then there's large pieces of stone here, going up to what appears to be some kind of doorway here, and the same here. Exactly where you are now, you can't quite make out the stairs. You can probably just make out the edge of the stairs here and here. And then out into here is just blackness and ash and dim.
I guess we need to check it out, right?
Yes. Leif would, and he realizes it's not a great suggestion, but his procedure is always to, when you enter somewhere, it's always good to check that you can exit it. Did we want to try go back through? No. We're here now. We just cross that bridge, so to speak, when we come to it. But just, you know what I mean? Yeah. Cool. Yep. Let's check it out.
Command of this demon, right? So, and there's nothing to suggest that command is time limited. I'm not sure what benefit it would offer us.
I think it was just a command. Basically, he had one command, which was to let us enter, wasn't it? You know. Yeah. Yep. Cool. Okay. I think we should stick together and go choose one direction and go and investigate the stairs and the door. Correct?
Yeah.
Yep. Leif has switched long swords, by the way, Chris.
Okay. Any other preparations I need to know about? Anything I need to be aware of?
Tarquin have this magical dagger out and is in one hand and a short sword in the other. I think Grey and Demos would be, kind of ready for battle should it come, right?
The Ethanol has what does she have? A short sword. So she'll have that, and Karos will be ready to cast if need be.
Okay. Where do you go? And who's going first? And who's going last? And who's going in the middle?
We've got an order, haven't we, that we've used over and over. We should probably stick to that order. That doesn't matter. I mean,
true, but I think we've got one side of us is towards a wall now. So if yeah, Leif and Etienne can go first. Then what about Tarquin on the outside, Grey on the inside?
carry us in the middle, so she's
Yeah, Mithan and Karos, and then Demos at the back. Does that work?
Who's the best stalk and hide? Sorry.
Neathnal.
So we want her to lead, right? Because we want her to stalky and check as we go.
Yeah. So Neathnal scout at front, and then I'll just do a quick little picture and just a suggestion of whilst we just go around this little bit. Yep. So Neathnal's going first, though. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think? Head right, head towards the steps in the door. I mean, I don't think it really makes a difference. We've got no intel. Pete, Alex, do we have any intel as to which direction to head?
We have had previous maps of Tarek Nev, but we don't have. We need to have a discussion of that about where we want to aim for on the map that we've been able to look at previously. Yeah, but that's just a group discussion about our ultimate goal. I reckon we go left for a start.
Okay.
And the Ethanol will do her stalk skill.
Okay. Very good. Again, this sounds of children. Could you give me a stalk, please, Neathnal?
Yep.
So I'm not moving you in order, but I understand you are in order.
47 plus 115.
47. Cool. I mean, your feet crunch in the ash as you move forward. It's hard to be really quiet here. I mean, sometimes the ash muffles your footsteps. Other times you find bits of pottery and just general detritus underfoot. As you turn a corner, here. Right here, you can see at this stage, there's a bit of remains of a wall here. And then there are steps that go up about 30 foot above you to a stone platform and then a door into what appears to be part of the wall, or part of a tower, perhaps, in a wall. And it's mirrored by another tower over here. And just as you get to this point and are looking very cautiously around, weapons ready, all the rest, you see a group of short figures. What appear to be perhaps children, dressed in white. Neathanel, you see them first. They look a bit like that. Well, exactly like that. They make no recollection or no indication that they have seen you. They seem to have no interest in you. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about six or seven of them, and they come out of this doorway, and then they pause, and there's kind of like a flick or a twist or a flicker, almost like the sun overhead, kind of jumps, and you hear again. And these figures suddenly are no longer standing in the doorway here. They've changed. And they're suddenly up on the wall, like this. And you can see them. Their faces and bodies are unnaturally positioned up on the wall, and that's a very good picture of what they look like. Their faces are into the wall, and they start to slide along the wall this way, away from you. Any actions from any of you?
Do we have any past information that suggests who or what these things are? Pete or Alex?
I don't.
I don't think so. Not that I can recall.
We just let them slide away.
Yeah, and look, I guess we want to interrogate what knowledge we have, don't we? So I think Tarquin will probably want to interrogate his demon and devil lore to see if he knows anything about what these things might be.
Sure thing. Yeah, give me a roll.
I think Keros has that too.
Right, yeah. Starting to wish I'd ponied this up a bit more. Dum.
It's really useful.
Yeah. 21.
Could be really good. Could be really bad. And what's the skill again, please?
28.
28. Cool. Tarquin coming into your chat now.
Thank you.
Did Keros do the same? She's got a plus 35.
Give me a roll.
How interesting.
So these figures, every now and then one of them kind of stares out. They're not looking at you. They appear to be completely disinterested in you. But their faces are that. They're doing that. But every now and then they kind of stare out sightlessly out into the dead city. And they move along the wall. They're not moving especially fast. They move at about 4 or 5 or 3 or 4 foot around, and they're just slowly sliding down the wall like this. What was your roll, please, Keros?
47 plus 35.
Oh, roll again, please. And offset. And what's your skill?
35.
Kiros, some information coming into chat. Right now, again, looking up, these things are almost sliding out of view. They're down here, and you can see the way that the darkness and the ash kind of limits your view. They're just sliding their way, probably about 30 foot up the wall. And again, their faces mostly pressed into the wall, but occasionally looking not at you, but looking out. Staring at them, and your eyes are fixated, understandably, on them. You hear again. And from the doorway going into the tower, you see this. And the GM is going to say, if that's okay, might leave that session there.
Yeah, I'm totally freaked out. Holy moly.
I need that slide for my don't do drugs talks to kids.
Yeah.
Rolling credits.
Oh my god.
It's always creepier with children.
Welcome.
Wow.
Welcome to Tarek Nev, everybody.
Wow. It's not a happy place. That was really cool, Chris. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, well done.
Feel very. Oh, what's the word? Thrust into the unknown. Completely like.
I need to really give that out of Chris for some excellent storytelling, don't I?
Yeah.
I think, Chris, I don't forget, I'd give it to Leif.
Yeah, pop it in. I say well deserved. Pop it in.
Thank you.
Pop it into the chat.